traffic jam or boycotters, they'll all be in here for a key game in the AFC West.
Well, they almost must win it. There's no question about it. The Denver Broncos right now 7-5 on the year, and of course Oakland 8-4. San Diego, the players down there with a win over Philadelphia yesterday. We're looking on tonight, and a win by Oakland, and they'll move back into a tie with the San Diego Chargers AFC West. So both these teams in the AFC West. Set to go. Chris Barr will bang it for the Oakland Raiders. Deep is Brunson. The Denver Broncos takes it on the short hop. Does Brunson? Running room and moves out over the 25-yard line. And let's meet the offensive unit of the Denver Broncos. We talked about Craig Morton, the 37-year-old veteran. He, of course, is the quarterback. And as we look at the setbacks, you have to reflect over the injuries that have plagued Denver for the year. They have not had one running back that has not missed at least 2 games. Offensively, Claudia Minor missed a couple of weeks ago, breaking a long-time starting streak. And tonight, they are going to be without the services in all probability of number 25, Haven Moses, the veteran wide receiver. They are coming with, well, basically a rookie, Steve Watson, number 81. 1st and 10, and Morton to the air. Feels the pressure, tries to go deep, and his receiver down there turning back was Steve Watson, and Craig under pressure, stepped back in, just released the ball. No Bronco receiver in the area. Defensively, and you'll see some situation substitution tonight. You'll see a lot of these 3 up front, but you'll also see Willie Jones, Cedric Hardman on the pass rush. Those are your linebackers, and they've got a great performance this year out of Randy McClanahan and Matt Millen, the rookie out of Penn State. Your cornerback, well, Monty Jackson will not be out there, not at least to start, of right corner. Dwayne Osteen, picked up from Rams early in the year, is at right cornerback. He wears number 35. 2nd down and 10, the ball just over the 25-yard line. And off goes to Dave Preston, and Dave Preston to the 30-yard line where it'll be 3rd down and about 6, and you'll see the substitutions come in on the part of the Oakland Raiders as they begin to think in terms of pass.
Frank, you mentioned how the Broncos have been hampered by injuries. Of course, you will not be saying, as one evidence, Otis Armstrong. Out for the rest of the year, injured reserve, maybe the whole career over because of potential damage to the spine that could result in paralysis.
Cedric Hardman, Willie Jones, defensively for the Oakland Raiders. They're the designated pass rushers. 3rd down, 7. Picked off. Taken there by Burgess Owens, the free safety, as it was deflected into his arm. Burgess Owens scrambling around. A flag is down as Owens gets the turnover, returns it down to the 42-yard line of Denver. Again, there is a flag down. It happened, however, after the interception, and Burgess Owens, who acquired from the Jets in offseason, has filled in nobly for an injured Charles Phillips, who was expected to play there.
Owens, of course, was a 1st-round draft choice by Weave Eubank when he was coaching the Jets a number of years back. He became defensive captain of the Jets. They became disenchanted with him, traded him for a mere 6th-round draft choice who walked off the Jets. But as we listen,
during the run back, number 53 of the receivers, 1st down.
To finish the story, the Raiders feel that that man, Burgess Owens, has been a steadying influence in the backfield and is a team leader. One thing they know is a great one-on-one tackler.
1st down and 10. Rod Martin defensively clipping for Oakland. They move the ball back to the Oakland Raiders 43-yard line. 1st and 10. Kenny King, another Raider who was acquired this year from the Houston Oilers and has performed great. Gets a couple of yards. It'll be 2nd and 8 as we look at the offensive unit. We told you a little bit about Plunkett. It's a great story that will develop during the course of the game. Many thought he was washed up. We talked about it before. Wide receivers, the speed man, of course, Cliff Branch, and the man who works underneath so well, Bob Chandler. And, of course, the veteran Raymond Chester at the tight end. Of course, Dave Casper, traded several weeks ago with the Oakland Raiders to the Houston Oilers. They have a lot of acquirees to the Oakland Raiders, and they have done well with them. 2nd and 8, safety blitz, picked up, and it's a running play to Kenny King. Well, that's what happens when you go with the blitz and you get the running back through the line of scrimmage. And Kenny King, 1st down, Oakland, down to the 43-yard line. And already you see the statistics start to show, and as I mentioned earlier, defensively, Denver has had a tough time against the rush. And let's meet the front 3 that we'll see. The Denver Broncos 3-4. We'll see substitutions, of course, there. And they, too, have had many troubles at their linebacking position. Bill Rizzo out for the season. Bob Svensson, a great linebacker, has not been able to play all year long. So first down and 10. The Oakland Raiders. And the football out to Mark Van Eegen. And Mark Van Eegen making his 101st start for the Oakland Raiders. That's his 101st consecutive game he's played for the Raiders. Gets up for a gain of about 3 or 4 yards.
Look at his stats. 572 yards coming in here. By the time the season's over, he'll have about 800, 900 yards. He's been doing that almost every year. I think Van Eegen may be the most underrated player of the Oakland team.
Durably is, and he always shows up to play. Give Van Eegen 5. We'll call a second down and 5. The ball at the 38-yard line. Hand off again to Van Eegen. He pulls forward for maybe a yard and a half. It'll be third down, and, well, we'll call it a long 3. In all probability, the passing situation, although you never know how Oakland is thinking because they know about those defensive stats of the Denver Broncos. They have not done well against the rush, 12th in their conference. So on a long 3rd and 3, they may keep it on the ground. Out to the right goes Bob Chandler, the 10-year veteran. Acquired from Buffalo in offseason. He's been brilliant. To the left is Cliff Brandt. Van Eegen tries to turn back inside, saw an opening, does not get the first down, and he's piled up right at the 35-yard line. Randy Gratishar, and you can almost call that name for the Denver Broncos on any running play. He just is something very special. Plays hurt. We saw him last year, Howard, as you know, in the final game of the season against San Diego, playing with a very bad hand. He had surgery then. He, of course, had rib problems earlier in the year. Literally won the Cleveland game for Denver with a 93-yard interception return. Randy Gratishar, here comes the punting unit for Oakland.
A little surprised at that. 35 yards out. You think, I guess it's early in the ball game.
Well, Ray Guy doesn't always punt. This time he will angle for the sidelines. Oakland playing it very conservative. And ball being marked. Not necessarily a good kick by Guy at the 15-yard line. The line of scrimmage, however, was up at the 35-yard line, a 19-yard pickup. Oakland, Alameda County Stadium. We'll be back in a moment. Started with the Cowboys in '65, the Giants for a while. In the past 3 years, he has taken Denver to the playoffs. This is Dave Preston over the left side. Preston for a couple of yards out near the 19-yard line. Give him 4. It'll be second down and 6. And again, we told you at the top of the show, there was an intended boycott. How effective, we don't know. We saw people outside in the parking lot. They were going to wait 5 minutes before they came in protest to the intended move of the Oakland Raiders to California. But again, we've also told you it's 6 o'clock here in California, and these folks out here drive a lot of cars. And there's a massive traffic problem here. Second and 4. The ball right at the 19-yard line. Quick movement on the left side of the line by the part of Denver.
They were not set up for that play. You could tell Craig trying to get people lined up. It was a mess up. He had Odoms in the wrong place, had his backs lined up wrong. And talking to Craig before the game, he felt that they were going to try to take advantage of Oakland's, I guess you'd say, specialized defenses. They have so many people they bring in situations. And one of the ways that they were trying to do, they haven't done it yet, was to call 2 plays at one time.
Well, I'm still puzzled by Oakland's last series when they blew a big opportunity. It seemed to me that Plunkett's play calling was tentative and over-conservative because he calls the plays for Oakland, not from the bench.
Needs a call. 5 yards, second down and 11. The ball inside the 15. Rob Lytle to the left side, and he's piled up there, stacked up by basically what is the pass rushing defense. Dwayne Osteen from his right cornerback came up, turned it to the inside, and there were a lot of black jerseys right there to meet Rob Lytle, one of those Bronco running backs that has been in and out of the lineup this year because of knee problems.
And Big Dave Studdard, who's an offensive tackle, they've not been particularly pleased with off and on. And that time they had Dave back in that backfield, which caused Lytle to go a little bit to the outside. The play never had a chance.
Third down and 14. And keep your eyes on number 90, Willie Jones, and number 86, Cedric Hardman. They couldn't care less about any run possibilities. They just go for the quarterback. Craig knows that also and goes out to Rick Upchurch. Upchurch turns the corner.
Hey, went out of bounds.
And he steps out of bounds finally out at the 42-yard line. Burgess Owens made the stop out there, but this man is Mr. Excitement when he has a broken field. He gets the first down and gets the Denver Broncos out of trouble.
All right, quick, you see that Upchurch comes from the left side of the formation. It is a swing pattern. Nice play to the outside. That was Lester Hayes came up. Good move by Upchurch to the inside. This play had a chance, looks like right there. He just barely, he couldn't get his balance. He could have gone all the way on that one. Rick is the kind of guy that really keeps him loose.
You saw a great block by Tom Glassig that enabled Upchurch to get the first down at the 42-yard line of Denver. Craig on first down. Out he goes to Preston, and Preston is at the 48-yard line, and they're saying no, he was not taken away as Lester Hayes romps towards the end zone, but they'll bring it back, and it'll be a pickup of about 6 yards. And Preston now is slow getting up. Preston missed games early in the year with a collapsed lung.
Hayes will do that, though. He's, in his own way, a defensive game breaker with 10 interceptions already. Here's an end zone replay.
Quick little out route, shoot route, where you call it, to the back. Dave Preston. Just a head-on collision, and it appears it dazed him a little bit. The ball falls out, but they said he was down.
So Dave Preston is being administered to, and we'll be back in a moment. Injury appears not to be too serious. Jim Jensen, number 30, comes in.
The L.A. Traders, some of the feeling of Oakland fans who for years have supported this team with packed houses. They don't want to lose their team.
Second down for Denver, their own 48-yard line. And Jim Jensen with good ball handling in the backfield explodes right up the middle, and he's down to the 38-yard line of the Oakland Raiders. Burgess Owens made the save there.
He did make a save, a shoestring save.
Well, Jim Jensen, in the light of the past few years, you also know about him, how Dallas let him go, and how he's made it with this team. He is a great all-around athlete. Yet, in the Landry system, there has been a predisposition, and this is not criticism, of big backs in his system.
First and 10 at the 38-yard line of the Oakland Raiders over the middle to Jensen, and Jensen is down to the 32-yard line. A pickup of about 6. It was Matt Millen, the rookie out of Penn State, who has performed so well. As you can see, Craig gets the body together, pops it back up.
Yeah, Rod Martin let him have a pretty good hit. Linebacker came in. Shot there of Matt Millen.
You know, this young man is really going to help to the Raiders. They lost Steve Nelson, who was activated again, by the way, early in the season. They lost Monty Johnson, a great linebacker. Matt Millen, a rookie out of Penn State, a second-round pick, was a defensive lineman there, and he has really performed well for the Oakland Raiders, considering the loss of 2 key linebackers. It's second down and 4, 32-yard line. Jensen gets the call, and he bowls up close to a first down inside the 27, and he'll have it.
He can do it all, Jensen. You saw him first with the run for the first down, then you saw him with the catch, and again with the run for the first down. Meantime, Craig Morton is directing this team beautifully. I remember back in '65, Morton came up with a group, Dandy. Joe Namath, Munson from Utah State, and Otto Graham was coaching Washington at the time. And he said, you know the one I like best? Morton is the purest passer. He can throw it.
First and 10. If Morton has been doing the scouting report, he'll put it in the air. Oakland plays the run on first down. And Morton throws it away. Riley Odoms is in the area. Partisan crowd wants to call against Morton, but he was very wise as the Raiders covered well downfield.
Craig said, I had a hitch in my get-along. I didn't throw that thing away. It just popped on me. He actually did have a Jim Jensen open to the other side. It was intended to be a screen out to Riley Odoms. It was read very well by the Oakland defense, and Craig just grounded it.
It'll be second down and 10.
No chance of deflection that way, right? First bounces don't count.
Would have been hard.
6.5 minutes remaining in the first quarter. John Keyworth in now, number 32, set back for Denver. Flags are down. You saw the movement. Over the middle, and it's complete. It's Upchurch, and Upchurch has yardage for the first down, but again, a flag is down at the line of scrimmage.
Well, it appeared that Oakland was offside, but it may have been induced. As you see, it was.
So that gain would which would have been a first down around the 15-yard line, will be called back, as indicated by referee Red Passion.
Going back.
Oakland tonight, and we're going to be in Houston on Thursday night, and that's going to be a dandy. The Steelers against the Houston Oilers.
My own hometown.
And a week from tonight, we'll be in Miami for New England against the Miami Dolphins.
Hey, that Pittsburgh-Houston game, though, that's putting it all on the line down there.
It was just about a year ago, Pittsburgh at Houston, that Love Ya Blue was born, and you'll see it again Thursday night.
I'll tell you, our congratulations to the Cleveland Browns. They're on top of that AFC Central with a win over Houston yesterday. Second down, 15. John Keyworth. And Keyworth lunges ahead inside the 25-yard line, picks up 6 of those yards. Don Matuzak slides out defensively from his left end position to make the stop. There's John Keyworth. He also missed so many games this season. He had both knee and shoulder problems. He comes out. Jim Jensen, who just came back last week, and if you get a look at his left thumb, you'll understand why. He had a surgical repair job on it just a few weeks ago. Third down and 8. Martin tries to go out to Rick Upchurch. Incomplete. It'll be fourth down, and we are in all probability going to see a man who is red hot for the Denver Broncos. That, of course, would be Fred Steinfort. Steinfort, there he is, started with the Oakland Raiders. He has the unique qualifications of having retired, literally, George Blanda, the leading scorer in NFL history. He went to the Broncos this year, and he retired Jim Turner, the second leading field goal kicker. He actually started with the Oakland Raiders back in '76 as a 5th-round draft pick.
He's well within his range. Well within it.
Sure he is. He kicked one 57 yards earlier this year. That is 9 straight field goals for Fred Steinfort. He is now 22 of 25 on the year. A remarkable year for Fred Steinfort from Boston College. We'll be back in a moment. Fred Steinfort will kick off. He has just put the Denver Broncos ahead of 3-0. A pair of speedsters. 43 is Ira Matthews. Art Whittington, 22. Whittington has already returned one this season. The ball goes to Matthews. And Matthews hit as he moves out over the 25, close to the 28-yard, and Oakland will have possession at that point.
What we have seen thus far, to put things in perspective, Oakland's first drive, they ran the ball 5 times. There was tentative play calling. They gave it up on the Denver 35. The springboard of the drive for Denver that led to the field goal was the screen pass play on 3rd down to Upchurch, and an overcommitment on the pass rush by Oakland. Frank?
Plunkett, close to 52% on the year. Took over 7 weeks ago. 1st and 10. And the pass rush, he gets away from it, steps to the outside, and goes back over the middle to his fullback, Mark Van Egan. And this is what Plunkett can do. Many people have said in recent weeks he's doing it too frequently, sliding out a little early, but you saw he would have been sacked had he not. Rushing him with Reuben Carter, but he got the pass away by moving out.
Frankie got some good pressure in there. He did move back to the outside. I think he was trying to go downfield to a wide receiver. This is the safety about Mark Van Egan. These guys are kind of lucky to get that one off, I think, because they had good pressure. Could have been a sack.
I tell you, I don't care what the team statistics are. Denver hits.
Van Egan gets the first at the 40-yard line of Oakland. Plunkett, he has the time. He's going deep for Branch. And there's a battle for the football as Aaron Kyle goes up with Cliff Branch. And, of course, Aaron Kyle, 4 years with the Dallas Cowboys. He came to Denver 5 weeks ago on procedural waivers, meaning he really was able to pick his team that he went with.
They're going to work over Aaron Kyle because he is not notably good on coverage, but he is notably good as a hitter. He is a terrific hitter.
They've actually been pleased with this acquisition for a couple of reasons. It's freed up Foley to get back into that safety position, and Aaron is the kind of guy who was drafted very high against Dallas. He just hasn't quite fit in there. Maybe this is his spot.
Second down and 10. Kenny King, right side, huge hole, and King bounces off the tackle of Steve Foley, but he gets the first down. He's inside Denver territory, and what a bargain this man was. Tatum, Jack Tatum, traded to Houston, and Kenny King came for a couple of 7th-round draft picks, and he carried the ball 3 years for Houston. I mean, three times for Houston a year ago for 9 yards, and here he's over 635 yards.
As we said at the beginning of the telecast, he gives Oakland a whole extra dimension.
And by the way, not denigrating Jack Tatum, he's had a super year for Houston.
That's true.
On 1st and 10. Van Egan collected and dropped by Rob Nairn. Gain of a couple of yards. Second 3, it'll be 2nd down and 7.
Good offensive blocking that time. He had plenty of time to throw. Chose to go to the man under. Offensive line set there, formed a pocket. One of the criticisms that has been leveled at Plunkett in the last few weeks is that when he goes back to set, he won't take that extra step or 2 steps back up in the pocket. And supposedly his lineman keeps saying, hey, trust us, we're going to protect you. Come back up in that pocket.
After those 2 years of getting shell-shocked across the bay. So, 2nd and 7, flags all over the lot. Plunkett will play it out. 6 and goes to the turf, short of the 1st down at the 41-yard line.
We saw Greg Boyd was the guy that jumped off sides, and how many times you see the guy that jumps off sides, the guy doesn't do anything after he gets over there. What he did is get off sides and didn't get a good pass rush either.
Denver is claiming inducement, and they're right.
Well, I sure didn't see it.
And it'll bring the run of Jim Plunkett back.
That hurts Oakland.
Down will remain the same, and we will have a 3rd down and about 12. We'll have a 2nd down and about 12.
Let's get that flag up, gentlemen.
Illegal procedure. Number 16 on the offense. Still 2nd down.
Quarterback Jim Plunkett making an illegal move.
I don't believe that.
He can't mark a snap that is deliberately interpreted to induce the defense to move offside. He can't make sudden movements to do that. Obviously, he did. 2nd and 12, 3:11 remaining here in the 1st quarter. Denver on top, 3-0. Plunkett with good protection. Kenny King. Good open field tackle by a man who can do it. Number 57, Tom Jackson.
He still has the range. He still has the speed. He is still fearless. And as you saw, he's a terrific one-on-one tackler. Their linebackers, through their years of excellence, have been, it seems to me, Don, their standout commodity.
It seems to me that a few years ago when they went to the Super Bowl, that was what everybody was saying, and probably true, that without those linebackers, they wouldn't have gotten close. Of course, Granishar is the guy, I guess, that gets more publicity than anyone. But Tom Jackson, the guy, Rizzo, they've had some injuries in that linebacking core this year.
3rd down, 6. The ball at the 45-yard line. Both wide receivers, Grant, Chandler, split to the right. Plunkett. Chandler.
Yes, sir. Good throw.
Chandler, who has been a spark plug for the Oakland offense, down to the 35-yard line. 1st down.
Secret to that play was self-evident. Plunkett had all year to throw. Superb protection.
He did. You also got most of the receivers are over on this side of the field. He's got Chandler faking to the outside, coming back in across the middle. Foley's there on him. So they cleared out a zone here, but you're right. He had time to throw. Good route by Chandler, though. He came into the outside, got open over the middle.
Chandler from Buffalo in a straight player swap for Phil Villapiano this year. 1st and 10. Plunkett, Branch, complete. And Branch is taken quickly by Tom Jackson, thrown forward, however, close to the 25-yard line, about a yard short of another Oakland 1st down with 1:25 and the clock moving, remaining the 1st quarter.
The quick out, the quick sideline, that's what he should have thrown in the very first series Oakland had in this game.
I think everybody, quarterback, a little tentative in that first series of downs. This one has been a very good one because he has mixed it up. He's not run that much, but he has hit the passes underneath, the quick outs. Came to Chandler, I guess, with the longest gain over the middle.
Chandler, wide side of the field to face Louis Wright defensively for Denver. And this is Mark Van Egan, and again on the blitz, Oakland's offensive line opens a big hole, and Van Egan down to the 23-yard line. 1st down, Oakland. Randy Gradishar made the stop. We showed you the stadium at the beginning of the show, primarily because of the traffic problems. It was about half empty. And, of course, because of an intended boycott for the first 5 minutes of this game in protest for the attempted move to Los Angeles by the Oakland Raiders. Now you can see it's a sellout crowd. Telecast in the area, the first sellout for Oakland this year. And of course, they've had over a decade of sellouts. First down, Kenny King.
Oh,
Kenny King motors all the way down to the 6-yard line. He gets the first down.
Oh, did you see him accelerate through that hole? Wet.
he did that, but he also, one of the few backs, he got out to where the hole was very quick, too. Watch this. Van Egan is leading. Kenny goes to the outside. Now he sees this thing begin to form. A good block right there by Van Egan on the outside. Just give him a little daylight. Coming right back in. He is a good back. He's a good back.
And the crowd applauds as they rise to their feet. The quarter expires here in Oakland, California. We'll be back with second quarter action in just a moment.
The signs speak for themselves, Frank. Some of those who were outside. Their feelings are understandable. The matter too complex to be detailed legally during the course of a game, and that's no cop-out. The courts will decide.
First and goal to go. The Oakland Raiders are down 3-0 as we begin the second quarter. Plunkett hands off. Kenny King hammered right there at the 5-yard line, and he'll make about a half a yard out of that. It'll be second down and goal to go, and those are the first quarter stats.
And they show the superiority overall, minor though it is, of Oakland, particularly in total yards and time of possession. Right now, I don't understand that last call. I go with a pass on first.
Well, of course, the one that got him down there was Kenny King that went to the outside. Granted, a different sort of a defense. I think it does the team good if they can take a ball in via the run, but well, let's see what he does this time.
Second and goal. The ball just outside the 5-yard line. Play action.
Wide open.
The wide open, and Plunkett dribbles it out. Tripped as he came back. Tried to get it out. Man was wide open. Derek Ramsey in the end zone.
He was so wide open, it was like somebody missed an assignment. However, that could have been the linebacker that we saw wrapped around Plunkett.
I think Plunkett gets tangled up here with his play action. There he is with Van Egan.
Yep. That was just pretty good first pressure in there. He threw it right in the middle. You can see the Oakland player way behind.
Lucky wasn't intercepted.
That was, Marsh Bradshaw was the guy that came out. So you now got a third down and 5. That play action won't work nearly as well now.
Third and goal. Brent, the one wide receiver, splits out to the left. Raymond Chester, 88. Derek Ramsey, 84. They're the two tight ends, and they're in close. Plunkett, and he'll be sacked at the 14-yard line. Good coverage downfield defensively for Denver. And who got there was Bryson Manor, number 66.
I thought there was that. I guess it was Tom Jackson that was looking like he was beating the bongo drums on.
That was not, to put it mildly, a very impressive series for Plunkett.
It was until they got down to the 5. When they got down there and that first play, then they started sputtered. He did make a mistake coming out to the outside. Plunkett does call his plays. I was not aware of that. I thought they sent him in for side.
Chris Barr comes out, 31-yard field goal attempt. The man who holds, Bob Chapman. Barr, 13 of 24 on the year.
I don't believe it.
And he's wide to the right, and Denver, with the first down and goal at their 6-yard line, gets out of it. They will lead 3-0 when we return, and that will be the situation. Missing them 31 yards out. The Broncos up to the line of scrimmage, first and 10, the ball at their own 20-yard line. That would have to give the Broncos a lift. Oakland had moved briskly down the field. Had a first and goal at the 6-yard line. We'll turn back. On first down, Morton into the flat, finds Rob Lytle, and Rob Lytle steps out of bounds. Out at the 25-yard line. Gain of 5, it'll be second and 5.
Well, I can tell Al Davis that, but unfortunately, that will not be the decisive opinion.
Influential.
A federal court judge will render that opinion.
That decision coming sometime early February.
But my position on franchise removals has been established since 1970 before the Congress. I'm against them unless there's economic distress.
Second down 5. The middle goes Jim Jensen, and Jim Jensen finds a crowd of Raiders there, gets a yard and a half out of it. It'll be third down and third down and 4. Now they mark it out over the 26, so call it third down 3. And the changes take place wholesale as Oakland sends in their pass rushing unit. Cedric Hardman comes in, Willie Jones comes in, and Otis McKinney comes in the secondary. Dave Preston comes back into the game for Denver. Preston 46. Martin had the time, fired it behind Jim Jensen. Fourth down, we'll see the punting unit.
Jensen was open there, too. It was a late move. You see, they went into the 4-man rush. Pretty good blocking this time. Craig comes up. He saw the Oakland defender in front of him, pulled it back. That could have been an interception. That was Otis McKinney, number 23. He came in, made that fake. By the time he pulled it back down, he wound up going behind.
Luke Prestridge, 43.3-yard average. There's Ira Matthews for Oakland, but Prestridge second in the AFC behind the Oakland Raiders' Ray Guy in punting. Prestridge doesn't turn it over, but he gets it to Ira Matthews at the 32. And huge opening for Matthews. Look out. Matthews with a brilliant return to the 36-yard line, and Prestridge, the punter, had to make the save at that point.
And no flags on the play.
I don't think this one was set up as much as it was. He decided I'm just going to run this way. Matthews saw it right up the middle, big hole up the middle. And that's Prestridge, you see, that tripped him up.
And this is the kind of return that they anticipated from Matthews when they drafted him a year ago as the nation's best returner from Wisconsin. Puckett on the sideline talking with head coach Tom Flory. There he is on the left, a former Raider quarterback in his own right many years ago, early 60s. Still holds several Oakland Raider records. But Ira Matthews has returned the Prestridge punt to Denver's 36-yard line. Once again, Oakland in super field position.
This is the third time that they will have enjoyed super field position. They haven't capitalized yet. I relate this to the signal calling, but I'll tell you this much. You get the feeling that Oakland is a talent-laden team in a slump.
Out to the left, both wide receivers. Branch and Chandler, and Puckett will go on top. Puckett will go down at the 47-yard line, and the man that got in there, number 75, that's Rulon Jones, the rookie, first draft pick for the Denver Broncos this year. That's his 8th sack of the season, and he's been spectacular. They got him in the second round because they didn't have a first pick.
He really has been spectacular ever since he began to get his shot. How quickly Plunkett got them out of good field position.
Jones, a rookie out of Utah State, big man, 6'6", 260. And the loss is all the way back to the 46, second down and 20. Plunkett again. Boyd pressures Plunkett. Plunkett looks over the middle, and he finds his setback King, and King gets it back to the 35-yard line. And they'll mark it at the original line of scrimmage, and it's going to be third down and 10.
Rulon Jones is working on big Art Shell, whom we've seen many, many times. Art is so big, pretty easy for him to handle most of them.
Interesting thing happened with Art Shell. Bob Trumpy on NBC said last week that Shell, on passing situations, was giving it away, was dropping back to have more time for the pass block. Shell vigorously denied it. Watch it.
Third down, 10. Art Shell, number 78 for the Raiders. Plunkett. Chandler on one that could have been caught, however, it was high, and it'll be fourth down.
It was high, but he slightly mistimed his jump, and that's what did it.
He was sure wide open in there. It's a pretty good route. You see him working on Louis right, make to the outside to the inside. Louis was a little late in reacting, slipped down some too. He did mistime it a little bit. That ball was out there. He had both hands on it, I think. Chandler would be the first to admit he should have had that one.
Ray Guy leading the AFC in punting. Trailing, but moving up closer to the Giants' Dave Jennings. Dave Jennings leading the NFL. Just under 46 yards through 12 games. Bill Thompson settles in as safety for Denver, but they're anticipating the out-of-bounds effort on the part of Ray Guy, and that's what they get. And they got it. No, did they go? Nope. They're saying into the end zone. It'll be a touchback, and boy, that was close, but the official right on top of it. Ray Guy doesn't like it at all. So we have 11:39 remaining here in the first half. Denver leading 3-0.
Around here. On the other side of the coin, they are 15-1-1 on Monday nights, the Raiders are. And the record shows that over the past 15 years, they've got the best record in professional football.
They've got Church. Wide receiver, split to the right, first down and 10. Morton gets the ball deflected as he tries to get it away in the general area of Riley Odoms. It'll be second down and 10.
Riley Odoms is such a wonderful target. He's so big, but he has been hampered with injuries both last year and this year. If you take Haven Moses out and you got Riley Odoms limping, you really do. You're limited to who you can throw to out there. Of course, Rick Upchurch is the kind of guy, the speedster. But Craig has been throwing a lot to his backs, Preston in particular.
Odoms, 2 big games coming into tonight. 6 receptions in each of the 2 previous games. Craig switches up, hands off the ball, running play. Out to the 25-yard line.
You know that
the big man, Jim Jensen.
All right, big play now for Denver. Try to get something started again. Oakland's blown 3 opportunities. The score might well have been 14 Oakland, 3 Denver. It's Denver 3, Oakland nothing.
Third down, a little more than 5 yards to go. Oakland thinking pass. They bring in Jones, Hartman, and we'll see what Morton comes with on third down and long 5. Morton buried, and he had to dump it off towards Rob Lytle in the pass rush. Pressures Morton into a 4th down situation.
you have Matuzak, Hendricks, both were leading in there. You see Craigie, he was trying to get the ball off quickly to the right side's where the pressure's going to come. There's Ted Hendricks, 83. Matuzak's, he almost grabbed Craig's face mask on his way down. The ball had to be released a little bit quicker than that. That's what you got to say.
There's Ira Matthews. He had a nifty return of 31 yards a few minutes ago, but Oakland did not capitalize on it. This time, Prestridge bangs a beauty that takes Matthews all the way back to his 25. And this time, the special teams performed for Denver, and Oakland will have the football at their own 33-yard line. 50-yard punt. I want to remind you about Saturday. College football coming your way, a national doubleheader, and it'll begin live at 12 o'clock Eastern time. First game, Florida against Florida State. Florida taking on number 3 ranked Florida State. That should be quite a matchup. And then that'll be followed by a long-time traditional rivalry, number 2 ranked Notre Dame going against USC. They do it year in and, of course, year out. The final year of college football, regular season, of course. So be with us. NCAA college doubleheader coming up on Saturday. First down 10, 33-yard line, Oakland Raiders. Kenny King. And King moves out close to the 38-yard line for about a 5-yard pickup. It'll be second down and 5.
Decent first down pickup on the ground.
That's right.
There's a young man Oakland really coveted 2 years ago. They wanted to draft Kenny King. They didn't have a third-round draft pick, and the Houston Oilers took him. So Oakland, they waited around a little bit, and they made some offers earlier this season, and Houston decided to trade him, and they did so for Jack Tatum, who's having a good year with the Oilers, and the Oilers also got a couple of 7th-round draft picks. King has certainly been worth all of that to Oakland this year. Second and 5, and here he comes again, and King gets the first down at the 45-yard line. 5'11", a 205-pounder.
Well, they've certainly shown the ability, Dan DeRue, to move the football downfield until they get into scoring range.
They had a wonderful drive prior to this one when they moved down to the 5-yard line, doing just what they've done here. They let Kenny King run a little bit. They hit some short passes. Kenny King is just, he is a terrific guy to have in that back there. He's also a good pass receiver.
First down is at the 45-yard line of Oakland. Duncan overthrows Cliff Branch.
And interestingly, the first time he's thrown to Cliff Branch.
Well, he tried to get him down the line a while ago with Aaron Kyle, but it's the first time he's come to him across the middle on this thing. We were talking about Art Shell a while ago, number 78. Now, he's trying. I can't tell what he's really talking about. The block, he seems to have pretty good control of Bryson Manor that time. Good position.
A veteran lineman like an Art Shell a lot of times will set up like he's going to pass on a draw play. And if they start to read things like that, they're in a lot of trouble. I'm talking about the defense. Now look at Art Shell now. He's back like he's going to pass block.
And he is.
He's going to. But he'll do it on other occasions.
Somebody didn't pass block very well that time.
And they lost. The sack is all the way back to the 35-yard line. Bryson Manor in there again.
Well, they're stunning up in the defensive line. But look at Jim. His feet kind of freeze here a little bit. I was mentioning earlier. All right, he sits right here. And he kind of felt that coming and leaned into it. They want him to come back up a little bit quicker into that pocket rather than go back that distance and stay. That gives the defensive lineman a point to reference where they charge towards. If the quarterback moves up a little bit in that pocket, they have to adjust that route. Oftentimes throws them off, saves the quarterback a pretty good hit.
Third down. You saw how much? 19 yards. Oakland from the 36-yard line. Pressure on Plunkett. And he gets out of trouble. He can't find a receiver, however. Hangs it up, and this one will be fought for at the 40-yard line. It was intended for Bob Chandler. Tom Jackson and Steve Foley were right there with him, incomplete.
But Cliff Branch was all alone further downfield.
Couldn't throw it that far. He had already lost enough yardage back on the other side.
And he was busy.
Yeah, he was busy. He was back there doing some things. You see those guys picked off an awful lot because when you wait that long to throw and throw that deep, you've got an even break now for the defensive secondary or linebackers and your offensive receivers.
There he is, the all-time leading punt returner in the NFL. He replaced the late Jim Tunnell only last year. But he did it, you believe, in 6 years. Ray Guy will kick away.
Let him out now. Keep it up. Keep it up.
Fine drive by Ray Guy. Rick Upchurch has to watch it. And it trickles out of bounds at the 11-yard line. And while that was not a thing of beauty by Ray Guy, you have to think it was also intended. Superb athlete, Ray Guy. Great punter. We'll be back. Took over as a starter some 6 weeks ago. This is his 7th start tonight. He had won a couple of games in relief of Matt Robinson, the early starter for Denver. Bailey, Cleveland, and Washington. And on 1st and 10, Morton hands off to Jensen, and Jensen out to the 15-yard line.
That's an interesting shot right there. Plunkett with Pastorini. I had a piece of chicken, shared a piece with Dan before the game. He said, I'm ready to play. I've been ready to play for 3 weeks. But it doesn't appear he's going to be activated. No intent here to knock down Jim Plunkett, who's a fine man, has been through so much. But his efforts tonight thus far speak for themselves.
Second down, 6. Ball right at the 15-yard line. Dave Preston, left side, finds an opening, and Preston gets the first down after the 23-yard line. Taken there by Burgess Owens.
Good run.
That was Rod Martin that you saw go into that backfield alignment and almost knocked Preston down before he got to the line of scrimmage. He was able to keep his feet, make a cut back, and come through there.
Dave Preston. Again, missed 4 games with that collapsed lung earlier in the season. They take it up early in this game, but as you can see, back in, performing well for the Broncos. 23-yard line, Denver. They're out in front, 3-0. Just does get it away and throws it behind Dave Preston, but Morton is buried once again. The 17-yard line, Rod Martin, number 53 on the blitz.
What a game coming up right here Thursday night. The Steelers against the Oilers. Each team now a game behind the astonishing Cleveland Browns. The winner stays in the chase. The loser, something else again, probably. But we'll be there. It was about a year ago that Love Your Blue was born. We'll be back for the reunion.
Morton now incomplete on 6 of the last 7 attempts. Play action and puts it up in the air over the middle, and it's complete to Ron Egloff. The second tight end, and Egloff up close to a first down. Again, dependent upon where it's Martin. Out around the 34-yard line. 1st and 10, Denver.
Looked awfully open to me down there in the middle for some reason. Quick little play action pass. He had a back flaring out to one side. Egloff came down the middle, and there's no one there.
Egloff's 6th reception of this season. 4-year man out of Wisconsin. First down, 35-yard line of Denver. Morton again, play action, and has the time. Finds Jensen over the middle. Jensen lumbering to the outside and gets the first down, stepping out of bounds at the 47-yard line. We're going to pause quickly 5 seconds and allow our stations and friends all along the line to tell you who's bringing you this football game.
Channel 7, KGO TV, San Francisco.
Oakland trailing San Diego by a half a game in the AFC Western Division. A win tonight, and they move into a tie. San Diego 9-5, and of course Denver 7-5 on the season. And they, of course, would love to win tonight and move into a tie with the Oakland Raiders, a game behind San Diego. And if they don't win, well, they could start to really be concerned about the playoffs. On first down, Jensen gets the ball and moves over the left side out close to the 49-yard line. A gain of a yard and a half. It'll be 2nd down and 9. Well, you had a look at one of the great players ever to play this game. A brief look at Gene Upshaw, 63 for the Oakland Raiders. He made his 199th, there he is, consecutive start. President of the National Football League Player Association. And just one of the best who's ever performed.
Awfully nice fella, too. Really is. Texas A&M.
Morton.
Oh, man, they're hitting him.
Hammered again. And again, defensively, moving in was Ted Hendricks, who roams around back there as a linebacker, but he always seems to be around the action, and he has been for so many years.
He can kill you. We gave him the game ball 2 weeks ago in Seattle.
What he does, really, he uses that unbelievable height. He's got great quickness. They get him at the line of scrimmage. He'll make a break from that blocker and then can move back in and pick up the speed to get back at the quarterback before he gets back there. I think he's really one of the outstanding linebackers because he does play like a defensive end a lot, too.
Just a great sense about where he is. 3rd down and 8. Upchurch on the sweep, and Rick Upchurch with that blazing speed, and he's close to a first down at inside the 43-yard line of the Oakland Raiders.
Upchurch is the guy that does have the speed on the team. None of the backs have anywhere close to the kind of speed Upchurch does. They've used him, I think, wisely this year. Occasionally, like we saw earlier in the game, a little flare pass where he starts from one side of the backfield, goes to the other. That was a little reverse. But Red Miller, give him credit for Red Miller using what he got.
There's a Raider coming off the field, and it is a shaken up Mike Davis, who has been a superb performer at strong safety for the Oakland Raiders this season. There he is.
It's amazing the way Morton is manipulating this team. On 2 plays ago when Hendricks all but got to him, it was astonishing to see him get the pass off when he was about to take the hit.
Upchurch gets the first down inside the 43-yard line of the Oakland Raiders. 5 minutes remaining in the first half. Denver has the only points on the scoreboard. 41-yard field goal by Fred Steinfort. They lead 3-0. Watson in motion for the Broncos. Morton sidearms it out to Preston. Took his eyes off it. Incomplete.
Exactly what he did.
2nd down and 10. There's Preston. Of course, we mentioned the loss of Otis Armstrong, who's retired because of a congenital spinal column problem that was discovered when he was hurt a couple of weeks ago. And all of these running backs for the Denver Broncos have been troubled throughout the season, missing at least 2 games. So it's been really a makeshift lineup almost each and every week for Red Miller. 2nd and 10. Steve Watson in motion once again. Down goes Morton. Submarining and coming up with Morton was the linebacker Matt Millen, the rookie from Penn State, whom we told you was a defensive end at Penn State.
Had he had time to throw, had Millen not been there, he had Rob Lytle that would have been open on a deep corner route. Millen is the guy that we talk about as being a rookie. He just wouldn't stay. They blocked him down. From the ground position, he still was able to knock Craig's feet from out from under him.
That's the knee brace Matt Millen wears. It's been invented and devised by George Anderson, the head trainer of the Oakland Raiders. It is designed for preventing the injury in sports, the torn or ruptured medial collateral ligament. More on that in a moment. Frank.
Third down, 18. Ball 49-yard line of the Oakland Raiders. Flags are down. The Raiders just a little eager, it appeared, unless they were drawn off. Morton still tries to go upfield with it. Wiley Odom had worked his way close to first down yardage, but again, flags are down following the incompletion.
Matuzak was the guy that finally got in, put some pressure on Craig. He had plenty of time to throw that time. One of the problems, or one of the criticisms for Craig, particularly in the last few years, has been his lack of mobility and not being able to step up into the pocket. He's not what you call real swift back there.
He would not be a Baryshnikov for sure.
Yeah. You look at Matuzak. He's 6'8", 280 pounds.
Too small for the game.
Too small. He can't make it. 6'8", 280 pounds.
Willie Jones, offsides. He was one of the Raiders that was offsides. So we have a third down and 13. Steve Watson playing for an injured Haven Moses. Put up to the top of your screen. This is Upchurch. Rick Upchurch hurls his tiny body, at least comparatively speaking, down to another Denver first down near the 31-yard line before he's hit by Mike Davis, who's come back into the game.
You talk about a quarterback getting the most out of what he's got in the way of talent around him. Morton is doing exactly that. Just to finish up the Matt Millen story, Frank, he sprained his medial ligament in the Buffalo game. They put the brace on him. He has not missed a practice or a game play ever since. That's the knee brace we showed you that was invented by the head trainer of the Oakland Raiders, George Anderson. So it's got great utility, obviously.
The first down is inside the 32-yard line of the Oakland Raiders. 3:20, the clock is moving, remaining here in the first half. Flea flicker, and it absolutely flicks off Morton's hand and flunks out at the 41-yard line. Oakland has the football.
That was a flea flicker that didn't flick, did it? I think
it didn't flee.
Yeah, that didn't flee or didn't flick. I think it was Dave Browning is the guy that comes back in there. You see a blitz, but they didn't want from. No, it's Millen again who's back in there. Millen. I'm sorry, Matt Millen. He's the guy that's back in there. Matt Millen.
And Ted Hendricks, we told you he's always around the football. He gets the fumble. So Oakland has another opportunity. They're down 3-0, 3:15 in the half. He forced the flea flicker to flunk.
Happy birthday,
and
Mom.
Ted Hendricks came up with it. I mentioned he had played defensive end for Joe Paterno at Penn State, but as a freshman, he was a linebacker, so he knows the tools of his trade from linebacker. Oakland first and 10, the ball inside their own 41-yard line, 3:15 remaining in the half. Kenny King in trouble as big Rulon Jones pursues him and drags him down at the line of scrimmage.
He's already a good one. He's going to get better, isn't he?
Yeah, he really is.
Jones is all right.
Tremendous pursuit, tremendous range. He was a great draft pick.
He has helped them a lot. We remember, of course, Lyle Alzado left last year. He was the basic pass rusher for the Denver Broncos, and they have not been very successful in rushing the passer, even with the great linebackers that they've had. And Rulon Jones has really picked up in that area for Red Miller and the Broncos. Second and 10. Draw play to King. King breaks one tackle, gets out over the 45 to the 46. Stacked up there. Tom Jackson in on the stop defensively.
Good block by Upshaw that time. We were talking about it a while ago. Set from his guard position, came out and blocked the middle linebacker and enabled him to pick up what yardage they did.
Heading towards the 2-minute warning. Third down and 4. Ball out at the 46-yard line. Oakland will not get this play off before the 2-minute warning. They move up to the line of scrimmage. And there it is. 2 minutes remaining in the half. The Denver Broncos. And although the ball has been moved up and down the field, there's only 3 on the scoreboard, and they belong to Denver. We'll be back. No signs being held up. The largest guard section you've ever seen at a football game. All say save the Raiders. Again, the reference to the Oakland Raiders attempt to move from Oakland. So they've been a smashing success, both artistically and in terms of sellouts for over a decade. In their attempt to move to Los Angeles.
Interesting scene, isn't it? Well, I saw the most profitable team in all of baseball, the Brooklyn Dodgers, move to Los Angeles. I saw one of the most profitable teams in the history of football, the Giants, move to Jersey.
Third down 5 as we begin the final 2 minutes of the half. Bucket lost it in the area of Cliff Branch, and Cliff Branch covered nicely by Perry Smith. So it'll be 4th down, and out will come Ray Guy, who's exercised his leg with frequency tonight. Ray Guy counting off to make sure he has 11 men on the field, or at least 11. Rick Upchurch drops for the Broncos with great respect as he positions himself at Denver's 15-yard line. At this point, a few minutes ago, Ray Guy kicked it out of bounds at Denver's 11-yard line when he hit a 53-yarder. Looks to me that they were offsides. Flag is down. Ray Guy, I don't believe, caught the corner with this one. Again, it'd be a procedure call, I believe, against the Oakland Raiders. A motion call. You saw the wingback for the Oakland Raiders pull up, and they'll bring it back. Unless that is, Denver decides, respecting Ray Guy, they'll take it at the 20-yard line.
I bet you they do, because Ray Guy certainly has the range to put it anywhere. I wouldn't want him to have another shot inside the 20, because he missed it, as he's showing you right there about how much he missed it that time.
That's exactly what Denver is doing, and I'll tell you, that is great respect, because they would have backed him up, and Guy would have been kicking from about his own 35-yard line.
Save our Raiders. Well, if media people had understood in the very beginning that what happens to one city really happens to all, and if precedents hadn't been established, there wouldn't even be a question.
1st and 10, 20-yard line, the Broncos. Morton, who's thrown frequently on 1st down, does so again. This is Preston. Preston turns to the inside, out close to the 28-yard line. He'll be short of the 1st down by about a yard and a half, maybe 2. It'll be 2nd down and 8.
Don't forget, Thursday night at the Houston Astrodome, showdown between the Steelers and the Oilers. They had a tremendous game just about a year ago, won by Houston 20-17. We look for a repeat. Be with us.
Ball at the 29-yard line, 2nd and 8. The big man, Jim Jensen, Bulls is 230 pounds, out over the 30 for the 1st down. We're heading towards 1 minute remaining in the half.
Pittsburgh's about to get some of their folks healthy. They've been hurt all year. The Steelers, they came off a pretty big win yesterday.
I don't understand this. Denver apparently content to let the half expire, yet they have the football outside their own 30-yard line. They have 3 timeouts remaining as the Goodyear Columbia looks down with Captain Nick Nicolari soaring around up there with our cameraman Archie Griffin. 30 seconds remaining in the 1st half. 1st down, Morton takes the ball out to Jensen. And now Morton decides we'll take timeout. I'll move over and I'll talk it over with Red Miller.
Why would they do that?
I don't know. Why go talk it over now? They let all the time
They
lapse
ticked off 40 seconds.
needlessly.
Very unusual call, Reds. I guess they think 3 points is going to be enough, huh? Turn it over to the defense. We scored. It's up to you guys now.
Ed Red Miller, there is your classical coach. Started 9 years at the high school, college level. Went to Boston. He went to Buffalo. He went to Denver. He went to St. Louis. He went to Baltimore, back to New England. And, of course, came and took over 4 years ago now, and has had Denver in the playoffs on first 3 years. Took him to the Super Bowl in his first year, of course, losing to Dallas. And has had them in the playoffs the last 2 years, and that's a franchise that only had 3 winning teams in the previous 17 years. So Red Miller has done a job with the Denver Broncos. They're 7-5 in the AFC Western Division. They're a game and a half out of first place behind San Diego at 9-4. A win tonight, they would move into a tie with the Oakland Raiders. They'd be 1 game back of San Diego with 3 games remaining for both clubs on the season. And how about Curly, Don, moving back out there?
Yeah, just ambling on, oozing on back out there.
16 years he's been plying his trade at quarterback. A lot of zippers around the body. And he still is the man that gets it done for Denver, as he has again this year. 2nd down and 6. 25 seconds for Denver. 2 timeouts remaining. The ball at their 36-yard line. John Keyworth, and Keyworth will have a first down out of the 43-yard line. 18 seconds remaining in the half. Bob Nelson, recently activated, made the stop.
There's Al Davis, managing general partner of Oakland. A terribly difficult night for him in the national glare. The fans openly manifesting their understandable anger. The intended removal to Los Angeles. Interestingly, there is a newspaper in Los Angeles that applauds the move because all they want is another team. That's, I guess, provincially understandable, but journalistically, perhaps questionable. After all, Los Angeles got the Dodgers from Brooklyn, the Lakers from Minneapolis, the Rams originally from Cleveland. Gets very complex as sports invades the law, the economics, the politics, and sociology of the society.
I would say that's complex.
Yeah, and here Craig is just looking for him a first down out there, and he's got 18 seconds. I still understand why they have not tried to hurry up, because he's got, as we talked about earlier, he's got a field goal kicker, Fred Steinfort, who has got maybe as good a range as anybody in the league right now.
I'd say he does. We saw them let Steinfort attempt a field goal against New England from 73 yards after a fair catch. 18 seconds on the clock. 1 timeout for Denver. Rick Upchurch, they just hope he can break it off on his own. He does not do so. Gets to the 45-yard line. Gain of about 3 yards, and Craig Morton stops it with his final timeout. So the Broncos out of timeouts. Craig Morton moves over to see if Red Miller has any kind of magic up his sleeve.
By the time Craig gets over there, he may have changed his mind.
Well, how many times do you think he's walked over there in 16 years? And how many times has he come back in with anything
that's really going to help?
Going to work. Again, this game's so vital to both these ball clubs, particularly Denver. They would just about drop out of it. When you look at the standings in the AFC West, San Diego, as Howard alluded to a moment ago, with a 1-point win over Dick Vermeil's Philadelphia Eagles yesterday. They're on top at 9-4. They must be watching tonight. The Oakland Raiders, of course, with a win tonight, will move into a tie. And of course, we've been talking about our Pittsburgh-Houston game, and you see the Cleveland Browns with a win over the Houston Oilers yesterday on top of that one.
Cleveland's destiny clearly is its own. Their remaining games, Jets, Vikes, and finally the Bengals.
And Oakland, they don't have it easy. They have Dallas here next Sunday. Then they play the Denver Broncos. And then they close with the Giants. It's the Oakland Raiders. Out of the shotgun, Morton. 2nd and 8, hang it up and look for a flag. Is this? And it's taken by Lester Hayes, and that is Lester Hayes' 11th interception of this season, and he is bringing it back. Time has expired. They could not get the field goal opportunity as time expires on the run back. Dave Studdard made the stop defensively for Denver. But Lester Hayes, he is something else. That's his 18th interception in less than 2 years. You think he's not all pro? Again, time expired on the run back, so Oakland unable to attempt the field goal. Let's look at it again. It was just a throw it up there in the direction of Upchurch and Watson. Hope you might get a deflection and a reception or get a penalty. And even though time might have expired, you would have on the defensive foul an opportunity for the field goal. Such is not the case, however. And the team moves into the locker room. Stay with us for our halftime highlights coming your way. The Denver kicks off. Steinford bangs it and is taken by Art Whittington. And Whittington out to the 23-yard line where Oakland will have the first possession of this second half. Earlier at halftime, let's take a look at Jim Otto receiving his Hall of Fame ring, inducted this past summer, and one of the true great players.
Exactly what I wanted to bring up. The presentation made to him, of course, by Pete Elliott. Said to the fans, I want the Raiders to stay in Oakland.
He went on to point out, don't demonstrate here. Demonstrate in front of the city council, in front of the other authorities. And there was a smattering of boos for Jim Otto, a great favorite. And, of course, the Hall of Famers who watched Kenny King pick up a couple of yards out to the 25-yard line. It'll be second down and 8. Feelings running high here in Oakland.
Oakland had its scoring opportunities in the first quarter. They blew 3 of them. In the second quarter, they had only 1 first down as Craig Morton assumed command.
Second down and 8. Van Egan 30. Kenny King 33. The setbacks for number 16, Jim Plunkett. Here's Kenny King, and Kenny King just smashing forward, short of the first down, but a great effort by this second-year man out of Oklahoma, getting out over the 32-yard line, about a yard short, maybe less than a yard short of the first down.
You see him go head on with Rob Nairn. Let's watch this. And Nairn is, there's Kenny King. Says, wait a minute.
He looked like a Bronco.
Boy, he did. But Nairn's no slouch at all. Good linebacker to inside. Kenny King made him head on.
So a fine block by the Oakland Raiders center Dave Dalby, number 50. Third, less than a yard. 2 tight ends are in. Derek Branch, 84. Raymond Chester, 88. Good Branch, single wide receiver, split far to the left. Play action. Plunkett hangs it up for Branch. And Branch will get an interference call, and it'll work against Aaron Kyle, who had him man-for-man coverage.
It was not a good pass, but Plunkett got away with it. Why? Because Branch is what Branch is. He had position. Watch.
That's Reuben Carter, who gave a little pressure in there. Aaron Kyle just goes over and made body contact. Aaron Kyle is trying to respect that speed that Branch has. He moved to the outside. Not a good play to come in on the inside.
The experience, too. Watch Branch keep his body well in front of the ball and makes Aaron Kyle go for it.
That's what you call position.
F. Branch out of Houston, Texas, University of Colorado.
38-yard pickup on that penalty. Oakland has the ball inside the 31-yard line of Denver. Kenny King sprinting to the outside and gets down to the 25-yard line, tripped up by Bill Thompson, but he gets 5.5 yards out of it. It'll be second and 5.
Pardon me, Frank. I think you're right, Dandy. This is the best acquisition Oakland has made. With all of its reclamation projects, King was of a different nature. A young player that he had wanted from the beginning.
I think you're right. I've never seen this much of that goop put on in my life.
Fred Biletnikoff used it that way.
But not that much, Frank. That's got to be against the law, isn't it?
Well, it sure is messy. Yeah. On the laundry. That's called stickum. Like pine tar. Kenny King, outside. Inside the 20. Down to the 19. First down, Oakland.
To compliment what you're saying about Kenny King is the fact that he goes to the inside, and we saw him to the outside, back into the inside again. So he's got all of those
and
moves.
King stays on the turf, shaken up. You see Reggie Jackson, who has joined us here in the booth. Served a lot of time here in the Oakland Alameda Coliseum. Great to see you, Reg. Got a commercial. We'll be back and have a word with you. Back in Oakland. First down and 10. Kenny King walked off the field, appeared to be all right, stepped out of the lineup, and Art Whittington, number 22, the speedster from SMU, the smaller of the Oakland setbacks, is in there. Ball at the 19-yard line. Whittington cuts back against the grain, and the little one gets to the 10-yard line. He'll be short of a first down, I do believe, by maybe inches, taken there by Tom Jackson. But now they mark it short of the 10-yard line. So it'll be second down at about 1.5 yards. Underway here in the second half. The big play, the pass interference, Aaron Kyle against Cliff Brandt. Oakland has been down here before, however, in the first half a couple of times. They could not get on the scoreboard. Van Egan, left side, gets the first down.
Here we are. Here's the big man.
And Oakland, a first and goal, the ball near the 8-yard line. Remember, the first half, they had a first and goal at the 6. Plunkett on a rollout. He ought to be able to run it in. He did it. Jim Plunkett rolling out and runs into the corner of the end zone. Tom Jackson pulled him down from behind, but Plunkett gets in, and Oakland is on the scoreboard, and they take the lead.
He had Big Joe Campbell. You see Greg Boyd, number 77, read it, but he read it a little bit late. He's trying to come back on the outside. Plunkett says, let's just get it in gear and go the best I can. Number 57 is Jackson, is the guy that makes the move there. Oh, they try to say you didn't make it, but he did.
You had to wonder when they were going to capitalize.
Out comes Chris Barr for the conversion, and that extra dimension that Plunkett gives the football team, the ability to move around, run the football, has put Oakland on the scoreboard.
Oh, he missed it.
I don't believe it.
First, Chris Barr misses the conversion. Earlier, he had missed a chip shot field goal from 36 yards out, and that makes an interesting set of numbers on the scoreboard. The Oakland Raiders leading the Denver Broncos 6-3. We'll be returning to Oakland in just a moment. Chris Barr hooks it on the conversion attempt. Missing the conversion. Oakland has the lead 6-3. Barr sent to kickoff. Deep is Larry Brunson, who a year ago was returning kickoff for the Oakland Raiders. As a matter of fact, led the NFL a year ago for the Raiders in this department. This will be Larry Brunson. Brunson hurdles out over the 30-yard line. It'll be first and 10 for Denver at the 31-yard line. We have another special guest Howard wants to have a word with.
All right, here is young Mike.
Cigars, so I learned from him.
Okay, Mike. Good to have you with us. Frank.
On first down, Jim Jensen gets around the corner, out to the 36-yard line. Jensen with a gain of 5 yards, taken there by Mike Davis defensively for the Oakland Raiders. It'll be second down and 5. Now they mark it up over the 36, so we'll call it second down 4.
Test here, of course, is for Craig Morton to reassume offensive momentum in the face of the score just achieved by the Raiders.
Rob Lytle comes in for Denver, number 41. Former great All-American from Michigan. Knee surgery a year ago and troubles again with the other knee this year. Second and 4. Denver at their 37. This is Lytle on a screen. Beautiful defensive play. The Oakland Raiders reading it perfectly. It was Rod Martin just hammering through a Denver Bronco block. Tom Glassick was out there trying to get a block on Rod Martin. He ran right through it.
Pretty good example of going to the well too many times. They've run these screens several times tonight. If they're going to continue to run them, give them a different look. They can run several different kinds of screens. But Rod Martin, along with a couple other Oakland defenders, had that one read perfect.
Loss of 6. It'll be third down and 10. Underway here in the third quarter. Frank Gifford along with Howard Cosell, Don Meredith watching a very important game for both the Oakland Raiders to win tonight. They move back into a tie with San Diego in the AFC West. On third and 10, it flies out of the hands of quarterback Craig Morton. Rick Upchurch was down there, but that just took off, and Craig Morton is slow getting up.
And you can understand it. There were 3 Raiders on him. That fierce pass rush we've talked about. Here's the end of the play, Don.
Well, they are getting there a little bit late. This is Browning coming through. On the other side, these are the designated pass rushers, as we've talked to them about before. Willie Jones was number 90 coming into the inside. That new penalty is a tough one to call as to when the quarterback is protected and when he isn't. Evidently, that was not one of the times he was protected.
Evidently. Press rate just low off the side of his foot, and Ira Matthews watches it roll and trickle closer to the Oakland goal. And now it's blown dead inside the 28-yard line, and that will be Oakland's possession. We're in the third quarter with 9:03 remaining. Oakland leading Denver 6-3. We're back in Oakland, and the Oakland Raiders now in command at 6-3. Have a 1st and 10, the ball at their own 27-yard line. Sellout crowd, the first sellout crowd for the Oakland Raiders this year. Kenny King hesitates.
Oh, he made a good move.
Across field. Bill Thompson is there for Denver, but not until Kenny King gets out over the 35 to the 37-yard line, close to an Oakland Raider first down. And Kenny King is having himself a night.
Beautiful ball player.
Bill Thompson picked the wrong time to swing Kenny King around. You don't do it over on the sideline in front of that bench. He was just shaken up a little while ago. He is running back in, and the report is he's okay.
Up to 85 yards now, having himself a beautiful night.
Tom Jackson was a linebacker on that last play, overran the play. Kenny King was designed to go to his left. Saw Jackson coming in, took a step to the inside, and came back with really on his own. The play was not designed to go on this side.
King steps out for a breather. Art Whittington is in, number 22. The first down, 37-yard line of the Oakland Raiders. Off is Whittington. Whittington hammered there over the line of scrimmage. First man there, Randy Gradishar. Got help from Larry Evans, number 56. Gain of a yard. It'll be 2nd down and 9.
As you can see from the graphic we just showed you, Oakland has been a second-half team. I swear there are 12 of these guys. I see them everywhere.
Euchre has got a franchise.
I saw Gene Upshaw that time. Didn't make much yardage, but Whittington knew what to do. He was sticking right behind Upshaw. So many times to see those backs try to get too far away. They know where to stay. Stay close to the big guys.
Raider backs have been doing that for 14 years with Gene Upshaw. 2nd and 9. Plunkett puts one into orbit way over the intended receiver, Cliff Branch. Double coverage on Branch, and Plunkett just throwing it away. It'll be 3rd down and 9. Goodyear, Blimp, Columbia. By the way, it'll take upon Lens to get the Columbia down to Los Angeles. In case you're interested.
They'll get there.
Yeah, at the end.
They'll be there in time for Dan Devine's last regular season coaching game at Notre Dame.
3rd down 9. The Oakland Raiders up their own 38. And they come with a draw play. Art Whittington. And Whittington scrambling and battling close to the first down. He might be a half a yard short. Rob Nairn, 58, made the stop for Denver. And it does appear as if Whittington, on a good call, by the way, Denver thinking totally pass, comes up about a half a yard or maybe a full yard short of the first.
Oakland disagrees with the official's location of the football, but they'll have to accept it.
And out trots Ray Guy. He's ran the ball a couple of times for first downs for the Oakland Raiders. And he's 1 for 1 in the passing department. Of course, the Denver Broncos, well aware of those numbers on the part of Ray Guy. They'll be very alert for any chicanery as Rick Upchurch settles in at the 10-yard line for Denver. Ray Guy looking for a sideline kick, and he gets another beauty. The second time tonight that Ray Guy has put the ball out at the 11-yard line. And the first time he did it with a 53-yard effort. This one a 43-yard effort. We'll be back in a moment. 7:03 remaining in the third quarter, and it's Oakland 6-3 over the Denver Broncos. The Denver Broncos 7-5, and the Oakland Raiders 8-4. San Diego leading this division. Looking on tonight, San Diego 9-4. 1st and 10, 11-yard line of the Denver Broncos, and here comes Dave Preston. And Preston works his way up for about a 4-yard pickup. Give him 3. It'll be second down and 7. And right now, we were talking about Heisman Award winner George Rogers from South Carolina. That being announced today, we'd like to also welcome WPDE Channel 15 in Florence, South Carolina, to our ABC affiliate family. Welcome aboard, guys. Second down, 7. Ball inside the 15-yard line of the Denver Broncos, who have really not generated a great deal of offense themselves tonight. Oakland moving back and forth between their 20s. And this is Dave Preston, and Preston out to about the 19-yard line. He'll be short of the first down by a couple, maybe 3. Dave Preston, free agent in '78 for the Denver Broncos after he was cut by New England in '77. Here he is. I mentioned problems with a collapsed lung earlier in the year. He's rebounded nicely. Third down 2.
Takes a lot of guts for that, too. He's got gizzard.
Watson in motion. This is Preston. And Preston gets the first down and more as he moves over the 25 out to the close to the 26-yard line.
Interesting call, and they had the flanker back in motion coming back in, and instead of going across the line, he stopped in and blocked that time on Ted Hendricks. So even if you get an extra man on Ted Hendricks, you're doing all right.
But a very important series as Craig has now negotiated himself into a position where he can begin to operate with the pass.
Some of that goop that you saw Lester Hayes' arms and legs is now on that ball out there.
I'll tell you, quarterbacks hate that, don't they?
I always, it's just, can't stand it.
Receivers and defenders. I've never seen a defender like Lester Hayes put so much of it on him. Receivers will use it. Oddly enough, you get grass and dirt on it, and it becomes slippery. On first down, Morton dumps it to Jensen, and Jensen puts it up in the arms of Rod Martin, interception Oakland.
I can't believe that. That is unreal.
Bobbles the ball, and Rod Martin very alert. There, and you see the dejection on the part of Craig Morton as Oakland has great field position inside the 30-yard line of Denver.
Well, he had an interception earlier. This is his third tonight, but the first one also went through the arms of Riley Odom, but this one was caught, it appears, by Jensen. Takes a couple of steps, pulls it back around and says, wait a minute, you handle that thing. It's too hot for me.
Probably will be ruled an interception because Jensen never had control of it, and that will go down in Curley's record. Of course, Craig unhappy with it.
Well, that's really critical right there.
Inside the 29-yard line, the ball is marked. 4:54 remaining in the third quarter. Oakland leading 6-3. Plunkett gives the ball to King, and King gets to the 25-yard line. Taken there after a pickup of 3 by Tom Jackson. It'll be second down and 7. There's Rod Martin.
He was at the right place at the right time.
Well, he's an interesting story, like a lot of Oakland stories. Drafted by Oakland in '77. They cut him. San Francisco also cut him that year. Then Oakland re-signed him that year. And now he's a fine starting outside linebacker. That was, we understand, ruled a fumble. So that one will not go down in Craig's book. Second down, 7. Plunkett. Branch. And Branch taken there by Rob Nairn. And Aaron Kyle also in on the play defensively for Denver. And the game is down to about the 21-yard line. Short of the first down. It'll be third down and 2.
Big John Medusa. Too small for this game, as Don said.
He doesn't look mean either, does he?
6'8", 280. Let me tell you, he's a great reclamation story. He had a lot of personal problems, cleaned them all up, dedicated now.
He said, hi, Dad. I like that. You don't see that too often. Hi, Dad.
Third down, a little more than 2 to go for the first down as Denver is stiffening. Denver on the blitz. Plunkett calmly fires the ball, complete. Art Whittington is there, and it's going to be very close to a first down. Larry Evans came out defensively. Crowd is already anticipating it will be short of the first down. They are chanting, go for it, and that's exactly what the Oakland Raiders Tom Flores decides to do, sending in Derek Ramsey, the extra tight end.
Especially after what's happened to Barr tonight. Missing a 31-yard chippy and then, unbelievably, a point after.
4th and less than 1. 2:45 remaining in the third quarter. The clock is moving. Oakland leading 6-3. Christensen in motion. Right side, and Kenny King will not get the first down. The ball ripped loose, but it had been blown dead. Now a flag goes down.
I'd say they pulled Kenny King back pretty good. That flag might be for a late hit of some sort.
Crowd is already anticipating it will be short of the first down. They are chanting, "Go for it," and that's exactly what the Oakland Raiders' Tom Flores decides to do, sending in Derek Ramsey, the extra tight end.
Especially after what's happened to Barr tonight. Missing a 31-yard chippy and then, unbelievably, a point after.
4th and less than 1. 2:45 remaining in the third quarter. The clock is moving. Oakland leading 6-3. Christensen in motion. Right side, and Kenny King will not get the first down. The ball ripped loose, but it had been blown dead. Now a flag goes down.
I'd say they pulled Kenny King back pretty good. That flag might be for a late hit of some sort.
And it's being indicated by one of the Raiders. The penalty is going to go against the Denver Broncos. And the Raider remains on the turf.
That's Kenny King that's still down there, Frank. And there's the referee's signal. Personal foul, first against Denver. I believe they had stopped him short of the first down, too.
Oh, well short of the first down. And scrambled to pull the ball out. Personal foul was committed. And Kenny King shaken once again. Our referee tonight, Red Cashin, his crew. These are tough games as we get down to the wire. After tonight, only 3 games remaining throughout the entire NFL, and battles are wide open in all divisions. And of course, we're going to see one very critical one with Thursday night when we see the Steelers move into Houston to play the Oilers. Both of them a game back of Cleveland, and Kenny King is being carried off by teammates.
And what you're saying right now is very critical for the Oakland Raiders for the remainder of the season and the playoffs.
If he is hurt,
they can't do it without that man. We'll get a report as quickly as we can.
Personal foul moves the ball inside the 10-yard line of the Denver Broncos. It'll be first down, goal to go.
I think this is the most organized crowd I have ever seen. We couldn't tell at the beginning how many were effectuating the 5-minute boycott. But now we can tell you from the placards, many, many were.
Whittington piled up. Get at the line of scrimmage.
It was Rob Darren that kind of came under, submarined under the blockers there, knocked some of the linemen's feet out from under him, and therefore he didn't have a place to go, Arthur Whittington.
They're checking the left knee of Kenny King.
I might say this about Nairn, Don, in the absence of the very great Bob Swenson, underpublicized though he is, Rob Nairn has shown himself to be very competent against the run.
Second and goal, and there was a loss of about a half a yard on that last play. Plunkett will put it up. Can't find the receiver. And now Plunkett will run and gets to about the 8-yard line. They'll probably mark it at the 9 as Rob Nairn, back defensively, moved up and was there to corral Plunkett.
You talk about hearing footsteps. Plunkett did then, I'll tell you.
Well, it appeared to me that in the beginning of the play, they were trying to work the left side of their offensive line. They had a man-for-man coverage, but on the snap of the ball, the linebackers drifted over that way. I think Plunkett, I don't know what that is. You name it, Howard, you can have it.
I'll tell you something. Denver really, they get tough down there inside their 20-yard line. The Raiders have moved up and down the field, but they have had trouble getting in.
Glenn Madden always raved about Denver's short yardage defense.
Third and goal. Plunkett to the air.
Well, he's got some time this time.
Fires in and out of the end zone, incomplete. Going down there, intended for Bob Chandler, and out comes a young man who really must be feeling the heat. Chris Barr missed that chip shot field goal, missed the conversion, and here he is. Chris Barr, of course, with Cincinnati a year ago. Brother Matt Barr with the Pittsburgh Steelers. And like his brother, out of Penn State. 26-yard attempt. Bob Chandler's the holder. Chandler gets it down. Oh, no. Oh, boy. Oh, that could destroy someone. A 31-yard effort he missed, a 26-yard effort he missed, and a conversion. He is perfect on the night.
Unwittingly, he has kept Denver in this football game.
Reuben Jones kind of lost his head there for a while with excitement.
Matt Barr in total disbelief. We'll be back. Yes, they're like baseball managers. They turn up everywhere. And this man was kicking for Cincinnati a year ago. They let him go, brought in 3 kickers. They now have Oakland's field goal kicker of a year ago. And Barr is here and hurting tonight. On first down, Keyworth with a couple of yards out to the 22. It'll be 2nd and 8. Denver Broncos still in this football game.
Miraculously.
They ought to award a special medal to Red Miller.
Well, it's somebody, or maybe Chris Barr. Somebody, I don't know what it is. They have not been able to. They've gotten a lot of the breaks. Some strange things have happened. Denver just keeps plugging along out there. See the clock wind down in the 3rd quarter.
Rob Lytle in, number 41, setback for Denver. Play action by Morton, trying to slow the pass rush. And in and out of the hands of Rick Upchurch, incomplete. Wayne Osteen covering, but again, you saw the pressure, and I don't know, Morton hearing a lot of footsteps around him. He has very little time to get that ball off.
I think you get into a rhythm of throwing the ball quickly. You see Kenny King on the sideline. Again, we haven't received any definite word on
Well, we know it's his left ankle.
Yeah, but yeah, okay. Left ankle.
We don't know what's wrong with it, but we know it's the left ankle.
It's certainly better than the left knee. 3rd down, 8. Preston now split out to the left. Number 46. Watson split to the right. And on 3rd and 8, draw play, hoping the trap would spring their running back John Keyworth. With Oakland thinking pass, it did not do so. It'll be 4th down, and Kenny King is being carried to the locker room as time expires in the 3rd quarter, and Oakland leads Denver 6-3. We'll return to this Workman local station. Sideline warming up Matt Robinson. Of course, Matt Robinson came to the Broncos for a number 1 and a number 2 round draft pick from the New York Jets. Started the first 6 games, 1 touchdown, 10 interceptions. A bit of an emotionally shattering experience, but he still figures to be the quarterback of the future for the Denver Broncos. On 4th down, the Broncos will kick. Luke Prestridge is in. Ira Matthews at his own 40-yard line for Oakland. He doesn't turn over, a short kick. Matthews from his 45. Nailed there, close to midfield, hurdling over a blocker, Maurice Harvey. 33-yard punt.
Once again, superb field position for the Oakland Raiders.
I'd like to remind you, tonight on ABC News Nightline, Peter Jennings from London examines the ongoing crisis in Northern Ireland. Immediately following your great local news over most of these ABC stations. ABC News Nightline. Ball marked at the 49-yard line in Oakland, as Howard mentioned. He's had great field position all night. Their difficulty is getting it in. They've had a 1st and goal from the 6. They've had 2 first and goals from the 11. And yet they have 6 points on the scoreboard. 1 touchdown and a missed conversion. Ruckett on 1st down. The blitz is on. And the screen, it's a call. It's a good one against the blitz. Van Egan.
Yeah.
All the way to the 30, and what a time to have the screen on when the blitz is coming.
If you can pull it off, you sure got it, because the linebackers are back there rushing the quarterback. Again, it's flipped out to Van Egan. Little play action fake. Lawrence blocking up at the inside. Plunkett drops it back. Jackson couldn't make his way through. Look at Bill Thompson trying to stop right here. Bill says that's too much for me, and Van Egan rolls on for another 4 or 5 yards.
Gradishar and Nairn were both in the pass rush. They could not help Jackson. He had 2 blockers. He could not make the play. First down, Oakland, inside the 30-yard line of the Denver Broncos. Plunkett has to reach to hand the ball to Van Egan, and then Van Egan hustles down to the 25, and Denver saying fumble. Tempers beginning to tighten.
You know, when you look at the third quarter stats, you can see the difference as Oakland did recover the football, apparently. 4 turnovers for the Broncos, none for the Raiders. Look at that. That's the key statistic.
Pickup of a little more than 4 yards. Second down and 6, the ball at the 25-yard line. Chandler split out to the right. Out to the left, the speedster, Cliff Branch. The tight end is Raymond Chester, number 88. And Chandler switched up on Plunkett. He hooked up, seeing the double coverage, and Plunkett just laid it up. And Chandler looking back at Plunkett, saying, well, we don't have it together, guy. Third down and a long 5. And each time Oakland gets into Denver territory, they start to falter.
They have done little with the pass tonight, and now they must count on Van Egan to make up for the loss of King.
Plunkett 9 of 18 on the night. Stays on the ground. Art Whittington. And it'll be 4th down, and I would not want to be Matt Barr when he comes out on the field, or rather Chris Barr. And he's welcomed by the Raider fans. He missed from 31, he missed from 26, he missed a conversion.
He was too close. That's what it was. He's going to get it back a little bit. Kick this with about, what, 42 or 3 yards?
You may turn out to be right.
He was too close on those others. That's all there was to it.
The history of place kickers anyway is a zany thing in this league. Frank could tell you a story about Jim Breach and the Cincinnati Bengals.
He used to kick right here in Oakland only a year ago. 43-yard attempt. Chris Barr, Matt's little brother, holding his breath. Sanders puts it down.
There you go.
So Oakland has a 9-3 lead. 13:06 remaining in the game, a vital game for both ball clubs. Stay with us. We'll be right back. It is the speed. Now, Kenny King has gone into the locker room with a damaged ankle. His knee was being checked, and Art Whittington is up, moving around, appears to be all right. A little more than 13 minutes remaining in the game. Oakland 9, Denver 3. Chris Barr to kick off. Larry Brunson from his 4-yard line. And Brunson almost pops it, getting out close to the 33, and a flag is down.
Larry Brunson took that kick at the 4-yard line.
Larry Brunson, I mentioned earlier, was returning kickoffs for the Oakland Raiders a year ago.
Penalty marker on the play.
You would think that Denver, they look almost snake bit every time they get something going. Has a good run back. Now they're going to put them back another 10 yards. They've had some tough luck on some interceptions, some fumbles.
They get back about 28 yards, which will be nullified by the penalty.
And this will be a get-together down there. Either one of those teams could just blow themselves right out of that tough AFC Central Division race. Cleveland, Brian Sipe, and the troops hanging in there, proving they are definitely for real. They're in first place.
You're right. These Steelers and Oilers, the guy that loses down there Thursday, they're going to have a hard time making that playoff with six losses.
And when you consider Oakland's record, and speaking in terms of wild card, with Oakland's record, you've got New England in there, you've got a lot of teams with good records. Sellout crowd, standing defense as Morton goes up and fires it out complete to Dave Preston. But he gets little, maybe a yard and a half or a couple, and Rod Martin playing a superb game tonight, an outside linebacker for the Raiders.
And he got a superb break when the ball was bobbled right into his arms by Jensen. One of those snake bit stories of Don.
That's it. They didn't pick up much there. They're trying to get him out on the outside, get that 1-for-1 tackle in the open field, which we've talked about many times, very difficult to do. That time Rod Martin was there and was up to the task.
Ball, as you can see, just over the 17-yard line of the Broncos. Second down and 8. Ron Egloff, 85, an extra tight end, comes in. John Keyworth rolling over the left side, out over the 21. It'll be third down and 4.
They just can't afford, even though a touchdown and an extra point is all they need to move ahead. You don't want to kill time this way.
I think in a way Denver's offense is designed. I've seen them do it several times tonight. They're designed to pick up more third downs and 5s than they are third downs and 8s. So a lot of times they would run on that second and long. They've done that a lot tonight, trying to pick up the 4 or 5 yards.
Craig Morton looking over the pass rush, so he decides to run the ball. This is Upchurch. And Upchurch, he will be short of the first down at the 25-yard line. Monty Jackson, who played sparingly tonight, is shaken up. Upchurch short of the first down.
Sometimes you get the feeling, as I said in the Denver-New England game, that Denver plays for a fumble.
It's Mike Davis again who is shaken up, not Monty Jackson, and this is the second time tonight that Davis has had to leave the field. And out comes Luke Prestridge on fourth down. Ira Matthews will settle in somewhere back around his 35-yard line. Here he is. Had a nifty return earlier in the game. Led the nation a couple of years ago at the University of Wisconsin, where he averaged nearly 17 yards a return and had 3 touchdowns for the University of Wisconsin in his career, all over 50 yards. So he can bring it back. Prestridge gets the kind you run back, a low one.
There he goes.
Matthews to the 36-yard line.
Oh, boy.
No flags.
Ira is producing tonight, as the gift said earlier, the way they planned for him to produce when they drafted. Big return. Once again, great field position for Oakland. We'll be back in a moment.
Numbers on the night.
Not devastating, but we mentioned at the top of the show, he has had trouble in the last 4 games after being spectacular in his first 3 starts.
Sure has. Subtract 27 yards lost because of 3 sacks from that 78. He got very little.
First and 10, Oakland. Inside Denver's 37-yard line. Good return. Ira Matthews setting it up. Mark Van Egan, right side, behind the blocks of Henry Lawrence and Mickey Marvin. Gain of 3 in the second down and 7.
For a team that's been sputtering and staggering offensively, Oakland somehow hangs in there, and their defense clearly has been exceptional. Witness their 10-7 loss against a team so fine as the Eagles in the wake of a Monday night game against Seattle when they had to cross the country to play Philadelphia.
Second down, 7. Plunkett now working a little bit, I would suspect, on the clock, handing the ball to Mark Van Egan. Gets inside the 30-yard line. It'll be third down and 2. Defensively there, number 66, Bryson Manor, number 53, Randy Gratishar.
Well, they've apparently found a field goal range that Barr can handle. Under the Meredith theory,
they don't want to get in too
distance.
close.
Yeah.
Now, that just makes sense to me. You know, I mean, sometimes those 3-foot putts are a lot tougher than the 8-foot putts.
Not for me.
Oh, I see.
Marked at the 29. Third down, long 2. Got him. Chandler, who was in a foot race with Lewis Bright, and one that's hard to win.
Well, he had him by a step and a half, but he overthrew.
I'll tell you, Wright played that pretty well. He got close to the end zone. He was inside of Chandler, not behind him where he was going to foul. Louis Wright himself has been troubled, as many of these Broncos have with an injury. He missed last week with my injury. We've got fourth down, and Chris Barr, who has been interesting tonight, to say the least. good on his last field goal, officially for 44 yards out.
Almost exactly the same place.
This will be 47 yards. Chandler, the holder. On its way. Looking at left. And so Denver will take over. They'll have the ball at their own 29-yard line. And we want to remind you once again, college football coming your way on Saturday, the final week of the regular college football season. And we've got a national doubleheader that'll begin 12 o'clock Eastern time. Florida goes against Florida State, and they really get it on that one. Of course, Florida State ranked number 3 in the nation. Good matchup. And then the second part of that doubleheader, USC against Notre Dame, and they've been doing that for longer than I can remember. Most people that follow the game. College football over most of these ABC stations on Saturday. On first down. Over the middle, and it's complete to John Keyworth. They'll mark it at the 34-yard line. A gain of 6. It'll be second down and 4.
Almost incredible the way Denver is staying in this game. Now if Craig can muster one drive, put them over.
I would think that as many things as they've had that really have not worked for them tonight, that's really true, because honestly they're a touchdown away from getting right back in. I really am disappointed in Oakland's futility to be able to put points on the board, whether it's far or whether they should have scored some touchdowns.
Terrible night for Plunkett. Terrible.
Second and 4 at Denver's 34-yard line. Rob Lytle on the screen. It's away from one. Later it fumbles the ball, and Oakland has it. Well, and I guess who? Ted Hendricks. His second recovery of the night, but he's been doing that for 12 years.
He's always where the ball is. It never changes.
Craig Morton, and not really a victim of his own play tonight.
No, he should feel disgusted.
Well, they've just had something like this on every play. I don't know how you even talk about it. Rob Lytle's got a guy who makes a pretty good move right here to get out and trying to switch the play, switch the ball. It appeared that was, I didn't see who that was out there.
I think it's Rod Martin.
Did Martin knock it out?
Rod Martin fought off the block, took the ball away, and Ted Hendricks got it. 34-yard line. Raiders again. Mark Van Egan.
Now what you're going to really have to look for when Chris Park comes out here again. Now they didn't quite have the distance the time before. They were 5 yards to, they need 5 more yards. Now then they're about down there.
Van Egan
second down.
Gets his 5 yards, second down and 5.
Getting to be boring.
Thing has become funny. Look at the turnovers. There's the real difference.
Ball resting at the 29-yard line. Just 9 minutes remaining in the game. Van Egan. He holds on to that football, too. He's not the type of running back who gives it up. He gets a yard and a half. It'll be third down and 3, and there is Ted Hendricks. He is something different.
Hi, big guy. You've been doing it since you helped Baltimore win the Super Bowl of 1970.
Came up in 69. He is playing in his 171st consecutive game tonight.
Third and 2 and the 26.
He had 2 fumble recoveries tonight, 3 interceptions on the year. Do something. Third and 3, and Jensen gets the first down for Oakland.
Well, last time they did get it, Frank, barring flags. We don't see any.
Chris Barr might breathe a sigh of relief.
Well, the Bengals had Jim Breach, then they got rid of him. They went through how many? 3 field goals?
No, I think Breach is there now. They had 2 others they went through earlier in the year. And Breach, of course, was with Oakland last year.
That's
Chris
right.
Barr was with Cincinnati. Place kickers really are like baseball managers. They land on their feet.
If they're Billy Morton, they do.
They just have to keep packed. And I think I touched on it earlier. It was Fred Steinfort, who originally, now kicking for Denver, originally was drafted by Oakland.
Well, Oakland had Bernersky. He's now kicking for San Diego.
Get yourself a lot of fancy luggage and keep it packed.
Jim Turner still in retirement. Houston sure could have used him yesterday.
First and 10, Oakland, 23-yard line of the Broncos. Van Egan, right side, behind Mickey Marvin and Henry Lawrence. And that right side of the Oakland line is beginning to come along and match the great play of the left side in Art Shell and Gene Upshaw. And Mark Van Egan is having shoulder pad problem. And in comes Derek Jensen.
You made a very subtle but very important point, Frank, about the right side of the Oakland line. The answer is lodged in Mickey Marvin and Henry Lawrence.
There was a gain of 2. It'll be second down and 8. Inside handoff, and Whittington apparently all right. He gets about a half a yard out of this, and it's going to be third and long for Plunkett. And it's very important for the Oakland Raiders to hang up this 3 points because they are a touchdown and a conversion from being behind in this game. They lead at the moment 9-3.
And less than 6.5 minutes left. The clock working at this point clearly for Oakland. But they got a long yardage situation here.
Third and a little more than 7. Chandler goes out to the right and confronts Louis Wright, the cornerback for Denver, and Cliff Branch is split to the left. And that was going to be a reverse, and it was bobbled by Whittington. He could not get the ball to Chandler, and you will never see a reverse set up any better.
It really was. But the thing is, they recovered that fumble, so they've still got another shot at that field goal.
Chris Barr.
No, he's all right now. He's back in that area. That's where he can get them from.
He's missed the conversion. He's missed from 31. He's missed from 26. He's missed from 47. He's been successful from 44.
All right, that's where he is. All right.
You folks believe this game?
Don't tell him he's at 43. That's it. He'll do it right there.
All he needs is a mild hook, not too much.
Here it comes.
Will put it out of reach for Denver on a touchdown and conversion.
Whoops. Nope, I was wrong. I'm sorry. Bless his heart.
That's awful.
That is awful.
Wow. Chris Barr. And that hurts. We'll be back in a moment.
I hope.
If we told you our car
Is storming. I'm beginning to wonder after this display tonight if the fans still want to save their Raiders.
Tough night for young Chris Barr. He's missed 4 field goals, all well within range. Denver has the ball once again. First and 10, their own 25, and still a touchdown and a conversion away from the lead. Flags fly. Procedure call, and it'll go against Denver.
I swear, Denver.
I don't believe it.
Denver's done everything but put points literally on the board for Oakland tonight. And they may do that before it's over. I don't know.
No, they can win this game still.
It's kind of a Denver way of winning a game, too. They do a lot of this, and they have under Red Miller. They're an opportunistic ball club. They hang in there, they hang in there. Those are the games remaining, of course. One of the key items, should this thing come down to a tie with San Diego with either of these ball clubs, both Denver and Oakland have already split with San Diego. The next tie-breaking procedure is percentage of games won and lost within the division.
Oakland's got 2 toughies left.
The thing about it, Denver, their remaining games are all against teams in their division. First and 15. Martin. Oh, he's manhandled by Reggie Kinlaw. Back to the 9-yard line. Here's a man that has really come on, a 12th round draft pick. He literally has beaten out Dave Pear, a former Pro Bowler, at that middle nose guard position.
And when you beat out Dave Pear, you beat out a man who was one of the most highly regarded players in the league. Who'd been with Tampa. There's the replay, and look at Kinlaw. Oh.
Kinlaw was there. Matt Millen again from the middle linebacker caused some confusion in that offensive line. They really don't look too sharp out there right now.
Second down and 23 as they march the ball where Morton was taken by Kinlaw to the 12-yard line. Flags are down. The Raider appeared to be offside. Morton has a free play to John Keyworth, complete. Keyworth taken at the 19-yard line. Again, and it did appear that an Oakland Raider was offside. Rod Martin again defensively for Oakland, and Martin is playing himself a game tonight. Here's a call. Referee red caution. They've been busy tonight, indicated. And I'm sure will be marched off to 5 yards to keep the down, the second down.
Another game that this message is very applicable to, and I must say it quickly, as this telecast really truly is presented by the authority of the National Football League, and it's intended for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast or other use of this telecast without the express written consent of the National Football League is prohibited.
I bet Chris Barr would like it consent.
Yeah, Chris, you can't use this for any home movies, anything like that, unless you get permission, of course.
Penalty, offside, Oakland, second down 18. Ball at the 17, and Morton will go to the air. And Rick Upchurch holds on.
Nice catch,
close to the original line of scrimmage. It'll be third down and 10. Dwayne Osteen defensively there for the Raiders.
This is just a good catch. He was pretty good coverage back there. The ball's thrown right in. Upchurch has a way of holding on to it. Almost got there.
I'll tell you, that's some guts. He knew he was going to get pounded.
He really did. That was Dwayne Osteen, number 35, coming in.
Almost a face mask. Meantime, we're down to 4 minutes left to play.
How about the old reverse that we saw? A little screen out to Upchurch. Remember earlier? It's not time for that.
Anything but the flea flicker.
Let's put the flea back into the flicker.
Third and 10. The ball resting just short of the 25-yard line. Craig would like to have a chance to talk it over with Brett Miller. Did not like defensively what he was observing, so he uses a timeout and moves over to the bench. And not, again, necessarily in a big hurry. Great schedule coming up. We have Miami, New England a week from tonight. Houston and Pittsburgh on Thursday
Hope
night.
it gets warmer. Getting a little chilly.
Dallas and Los Angeles, and of course we close out with Pittsburgh and San Diego. Third down and 10 for the Broncos. Ball right up to the 25-yard line. 3:48 remaining in the game, and Craig Morton will be in the shotgun.
They don't work on that a lot.
Shotgun went off prematurely.
You can only do so much in a week's practice.
Procedure call, Denver.
I know. It's just been one of those things you say, my golly. Go back to the basics.
They'll mark this off. It'll be third down and 15.
May have to go over and get another play for 15. We had our third down and 10 play.
Poor Red is wondering, how did this ever happen to him? This isn't the way he trained them. All those weeks of practice during summer training, all the preseason games.
Here 4 years ago, the man didn't have a wrinkle in his face.
Third and 15. Here comes the open pass rush. Morton tries to get it over the middle. A flag is down.
Yeah.
Trying to go to Steve Watson. He was covered by Lester Hayes and well. Holding will work against Denver. But it's fourth down. We doubt if we will see the penalty accepted.
My gosh, they have not played well.
You are a master of understatement.
Number 62 on the offense. Penalty is declined. It's fourth down.
And Luke Prestridge comes on to punt. Ira Matthews, who's been hot tonight, moves back close to his 40-yard line. Oakland, if everything goes well, should have once again good field position. Prestridge again does not get it high, but this time he moves Matthews back to the 30. Matthews nailed there by the special teams of Denver at the 34-yard line. Dave Preston leading the charge. 3:30 remaining in the game. And again, we keep talking about the importance of this game because when you get down to the twilight of the regular NFL season, you get these situations. Denver a 7-5 record. And we'll take a look at the standings. Denver, if they drop this one tonight, and they're in danger of doing just that, they can pretty much well write it off.
Remember, you're looking at the Oakland team that beat Pittsburgh 49-35 in a Monday night game.
And beat San Diego right here also. And they're struggling tonight. They're not playing good football.
But in line with their more recent play, you saw them 2 weeks ago at Seattle when they struggled to victory.
Van Egan, ball carrier, gets a yard and a half. It'll be 2nd down and 9.
I want to correct that earlier stated score. It was 45-34.
Van Egan, interesting ball player. He's always there. Carried the ball over 1,400 times. His longest run from scrimmage, 34 yards. That's a lot of bumps and bruises. Here he is again, Van Egan. Mile left, out close to the 40-yard line. Gain of about 4. It'll be 3rd down and 3.
Well, the task is to get Chris Barr into field goal range.
Meanwhile, seconds are ticking off for the Denver Broncos. 2:30 and the clock is moving.
Now, I think they're going with another strategy. They're going to try to keep the ball away from Chris Barr. They're going to run off tackle and see if they can't eat up 2 minutes and 20 seconds somewhere between the 40-yard line and the goal line. Well, that'd be a good move right
Denver
there.
has used one of their timeouts. 3rd down 4. Whittington. And Whittington a little shy of the 1st down. So it'll be 4th down decision time for the Oakland Raiders. And Denver uses another timeout. They want to stop the clock. They tried to stop it before the 2-minute warning. But the scoreboard clock indicates that we have reached the 2-minute warning.
It would really be awful if they used that second timeout of theirs at the 2-minute warning. That figures that could happen too.
And if you want to see the most organized crowd in history, let's look at this. You ought to see these fans holding up their placards. Save our Raiders. Save our Raiders.
Discussion on the field while the placards are up as to whether or not Denver was able to stop the clock before the 2-minute warning with the timeout. Flores calls referee Red Cashin over for an explanation. And we'll get the explanation to you as soon as we get it.
Hear the crowd screaming, save our Raiders.
4th down and a yard. Again, the scoreboard clock indicates 2 minutes remaining.
Placards are showing, and while this demonstration is taking place.
Apparently the clock is not official. Timeout had been called by Denver at 2:02.
Senator Warren Magnuson of Washington State, before the recent national election, had introduced Senate Bill 8183, which would have prohibited the removal of one franchise to another city unless the removing franchise could prove 3 consecutive years of economic distress. That bill died with the adjournment of the Congress and with the election because Senator Warren Magnuson was defeated in the Reagan sweep. Let's see if somebody revives that bill.
2:02 remaining. Denver has called timeout. That means the Broncos have 1 timeout remaining. Ray Guy is on with a 4th down and 1. Oakland apparently to punt. And the delay is to, I assume, adjust the clock or to inform both benches that there is indeed 2 minutes and 2 seconds remaining in the game. Red Miller, 3 times. In his 3 years with the Broncos, he's taken them to the playoffs.
The Denver defense needs a great deal of credit, I think, tonight because they have been put in position to hold Oakland with great field position. Once again, for Denver to have any shot at all, they had to hold them right there. Kicked them back, held them down in their forcing to the punt, so Denver should have one more shot at it.
Here's Tom Flores in his second year, replacing a bit of a legend here in Oakland. Of course, I speak of John Madden. Rick Upchurch is deep for the Broncos. The guy will attempt to keep it away from him. He's a master at that. Long count, but the Broncos did not go offside. The crowd roars the approval, but they did not get the kick that they wanted, I'm quite sure. Nevertheless, they did not get the ball in the arms of Rick Upchurch, and they are going to mark it out at the 26-yard line. So Denver brings out Craig Morton. 1:58 now on the clock, and we will get the 2-minute warning. So that's the story for the Broncos. They are down 9-3. They need a touchdown and a conversion. They have 1:58. They have one timeout remaining. With the ball at his 26-yard line, has one timeout. His offense has sputtered throughout the night, and yet he's going to try and pull this together. He's done it so many times in the past for the Broncos, and he leads them up to the line of scrimmage. One timeout remaining. Over the middle, and it's complete to John Keyworth. He gets a first down. Not necessarily meaningful at this point. The Broncos must keep the ball in play, conserve that last timeout. A field goal, of course, will not do it. They've got to get the big one.
11, first down and 37.
Martin somehow gets it off to Keyworth, incomplete.
Well, at least that stops the clock. There's a minute 30 to go. I don't care what the final score is. The losing team will have lost it. No team has won this game.
The losing team will have lost it.
Second down and 10. Clock stop, 1:30. Denver with the 5 turnovers, the 4 missed field goals, the 1 extra point on the part of Oakland. Interesting game.
Not really.
Quick count by Morton. Complete. Over the middle. Keyworth out over the 45 to the 46.
Complete to John Keyworth.
But the
Short of
clock,
the first down.
you see the clock counting down.
Denver hurry. Third down. A little more than 2 to go for a first. Morton. Picked off.
Goodbye.
Picked out off by Dwayne Osteen, the former Ram. He was there.
Went to Rod Martin's hands first.
Rod Martin was out covering the intended receiver. It was ticked into the air, and Dwayne Osteen came up with it.
He ran out of magic this time. Had a little time to throw, trying to get it out to Rob Lytle. See, it was deflected. It was not Martin, as a matter of fact.
Otis McKinney.
Otis McKinney, and then Osteen was there in the back.
So now Denver can only stop the clock one time with their one remaining timeout. Denver, the rest of their season. Next Sunday at Kansas City, that won't be easy for them. Then they have Oakland once again at home. Then they close at Seattle. And of course, as we mentioned for the Oakland Raiders, Dallas will be here next Sunday. Dallas, of course, now just one game behind the Eagles. Oakland will finish at Denver, and then they'll have the Giants. That was Van Egan working on the clock, which now shows 1 minute and 1 second as Denver has expired their timeouts. And I want to remind you that we'll be in Houston for the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Houston Oilers, both those teams locked one game behind the Cleveland Browns in that rugged AFC Central Division. Then we'll be on to Miami a week from tonight for the New England Patriots against the Miami Dolphins. And that AFC East race, of course, still up for grabs. Buffalo, New England. No timeouts remain. Thanks again to our spotter, Steve Bazika, Jerry Klein, statistician, research man. Spent a busy afternoon researching running down the Heisman Trophy. Jim Plunkett, not an artistic success, but it goes as the 7th win for Oakland in 8 games.
Well, he's trying to get into field goal range.
16th victory on Monday night, too. These guys are amazing on Monday night.
Far and away the best.
They were amazing tonight, I'll tell you.
That's another way to win one.
Holding this score to 9-3. There's Al Davis again.
16 consecutive years in winning records. That is the best in the history of the NFL. Going back to the Bears of the late 30s and early 40s. There's Dwayne Osteen, starter for the Rams last year. And Plunkett falls on the football. They'll have to do it one more time. This game will be history. And the Oakland Raiders will move back into a tie in the AFC Western Division of San Diego, both with their 9-4 records. And Denver will go to 7-6.
I just say this, Skipper. They're going to have to play better than this to beat the Dallas Cowboys, that's for sure. And they're going to have to play better than they played tonight to beat that man and his team, Denver, in Mile High Stadium, because it's a different ball game there.
Final seconds ticking off. This game goes into the record book. The Oakland Raiders 9-3 over the Denver Broncos. And Oakland and San Diego, who have split, they will not meet again this season. Should they wind up in a tie, it will be determined by their record win-loss.
Here it goes.
Yes, the Carnival. But now with 7 losses, they say we don't like Denver. That's why we like to play them. Here come the Broncos with the kickoff return. Larry Brunson comes out across the 10-yard line, gets it to about the 12. Now let's go to New York to NFL 80, where Brian Gemble's going to update us on the Jets. The New Orleans Saints on the first play from scrimmage. Dave Preston carries off tackle for the Broncos, gets the ball across the 15-yard line. Greg Morton starting at quarterback, but we could see Matt Robinson coming in early. Dave Preston and Jim Jensen are the runners for the Broncos. Rick Upchurch, their deep speed at one flank. Haven Movers, the veteran, at the other. And Riley Odoms, who's playing way overweight and not right now in the great pleasure of his coaching staff, is aligned to the left side. Odoms has played himself right out of shape. He's trained up to about 255. He was one of the best tight ends in the league. Now they go straight ahead, and running with the ball is Jim Jensen. Here's the defensive line for the Oakland Raiders. John Matuzak at left end. Say he's having an all-pro year. The young Oklahoman, Reggie Kinlaw at middle guard. Dave Brownings at the right end. Ted Hendricks having one of his best seasons. Left outside linebacker. Matt Millen and Bob Nelson, the inside backers. Rod Martin is the other outside linebacker. Lester Hayes with 11 interceptions. He's caught more than a lot of wide receivers. Dwayne Osteen are the corners. Mike Davis and Burgess Owens are the safeties. It's first down and 10 now for the Broncos. They go right back to the run. And Preston, working hard, gets it across the 25-yard line, out close to the 28. Lester Hayes knocked him down.
Don, you know, the last time these two teams played was less than a month ago. 9-3 ball game. Sometimes when you look back, having just played a team that you feel that you didn't play as well as you could against, and you see on the stats that you rushed for 90 yards but only ran the ball about 20 times, you say, hey, that's a little bit over a 4-point average. We better run the ball a little more than we did. We see Denver doing so real early. Their whole game is to pick up 5 yards on first down, put the other team in a trap, and they've done so on 3 series.
And Oakland's been a tough team to run on. Their last 3 games are giving up way under 3 yards a rush on the average on a 2nd and 5 carry. Hendricks and Hayes come up. Make the tackle. So the knockdown will be at about the 27-yard line, and that'll bring up 3rd down now for Denver. 3rd down at about 3. Oakland is, according to Red Miller, the coach of the Broncos, stops the run early, then brings in the pass rushers and the good defensive backs, stops the pass. They've been awful tough to score on, the Raiders. 3rd down and about 4 now. Morton takes a deep drop, throws over the middle. Look at that stick. The hit is made. It's going to be close to a first down as Lester Hayes and Mike Davis converge on Dave Preston. And now let's switch back to New York to NFL 80 and Brian Gumble. Brian?
Are you kidding me? I thought that game was already put in the Frigidaire.
That is something. The Vikings rally back again and take the NFC Central. It's 1st and 10. The Broncos on the pass play did get the first down. Now they go to the run straight up the middle and take the ball to the 35-yard line. Dave Preston is stuck by Matt Millen. Big middle backer, one of 2 in there. Millen, a rookie from Penn State. Oakland has always had ex-defensive linemen playing the middle backer. Dan Connor was a former down lineman. So was Monty Johnson at Nebraska, and so was Matt Millen. He was an All-American last year at Penn State.
He's kind of playing a down lineman as a linebacker, Donnie. You'll see that he plays the rush very hard on passes he hasn't developed, as he will in the next couple of years.
Awful big, playing at almost 260. Dave Preston gets the ball again and takes the ball out across the 35-yard line and close to the 40. On a 2nd down and 7 carry, he's going to bring up 3rd down now for the Broncos in about 3. Nelson was on the stop. Preston's been given the ball 5 times already early in the game, and he's gained 17 yards. Red Miller coaching his first Bronco team that will not be in the playoffs. Red's had 2 divisional champions in the previous 3 years, and of course the one team that went to the Super Bowl. It's 3rd down and a long 2 now for the Broncos, just short of their 40. Morton stands in, throws out of the backfield, makes the connection. Rob Lytle comes it up down the corner and gets inside the Oakland 40. Rod Martin finally gets him, John.
And what he did is he fooled Rod Martin, because Martin was looking at the near back. Now Lytle was the back away from his side. The backs crisscrossed at the snap of the ball. He got Rod Martin to get out of play. Now watch, see the backs crossing each other? Martin thinks his back's gone. Following right in his path is Lytle. It's called a little trail pass. Once in a while you fool a linebacker. Obviously they saw something in the pictures that would indicate Martin to do so.
So a 22-yard connection. Craig Morton to Rob Lytle, the former Michigan runner. And the Raiders now starting to mount a challenge on their first possession. They took the opening kickoff. Now they've taken it down to the 38-yard line of Oakland. Right back to the run. Nothing there. Oakland shuts it down. Dave Preston got the call, and Matuzak, 6'8", 280 pounds, hit him.
Donnie, the impressive thing in the first drive is, number one, the Oakland Raider defense has not bent. You know, it hasn't broken, but it hasn't even bent. It's been playing very well early, the last 8 or 9 ball games. It's been the total dominant force for the Raiders and has really put them in a playoff picture. Their offense has sputtered. If any indication of what's going to happen throughout the afternoon is what's been done by Denver early, the best part of their group is a little suspect.
Well, we'll see as they go right back to the run now in a 2nd down and 8 play. Dave Preston gets the call and takes it down close to the 36. You're talking about how well they're playing, John. In the last 3 games, the Oakland defense has not allowed 1 3rd down completion against 3 pretty good opponents.
Well, today they've allowed 2.
Yeah. Denver came out throwing. Denver has not had much offense this year. Last week they had a bad second quarter. Turnovers have really hurt the Broncos. They've had 11 in the last 2 games. They were a playoff contender until a couple of weeks ago. They were 7-5. Then lost consecutively to Oakland on a Monday night. And last week at Kansas City, 31-14. On 3rd down and 8, Morton stands in, loops it out there, and David Moses can't quite get to the ball.
I tell you, you know, lots of times what you don't see on your television screen has created a turnover. Morton's got Haven Moses all the way across the field. He's going to hit him easily. But Cedric Hardman, one of the finest pass rushers that's played this game ever. He and Ted Hendricks been putting a lot of games together. You can see Cedric goes to the outside, just enough pressure. Actually, number 73 hit his own man, forced Morton to go high. They've got to turn it over.
And now we have one of the really great long-range kickers in pro football, a former Oakland Raider, Fred Steinfort, out of Boston College, ready to attempt a long field goal. They're going to hold. Matt Robinson will at the 44-yard line. Oops, what's this? He's looking to throw.
Oh, he's got him.
And this will go the distance. Burgess Owens picks it off. It's a foot race, and Burgess Owens wins going away. So the Broncos go to the well with a trick play, and Burgess Owens takes it away from Riley Odoms and goes the distance, 63 yards and a touchdown.
And, you know, it was a play that was devised to be a flea flicker where Robinson comes out and throws the ball back. But in the meantime, Jim Jensen had beaten his man all the way down in the end zone. For some reason, Robinson never put his attention on him. As a result, 7 points went the wrong way. Okay, here comes Robinson. Jensen is going down the field. I don't know if he was looking for him, but he never found him. Going out to Riley Odoms. Comes up with the white shirt. Burgess Owens slips it in for 6 points, and the Raiders get off fast when it looks like they were down on the floor.
Burgess was sure open, wasn't he? Burgess Owens takes to the distance. Officially, it's a 58-yard return, and the Raiders are on the board. The extra point by Chris Barr is drilled up and good, and so the Raiders strike quickly with their offense not yet on the field. A trick play by the Broncos off a fake field goal, and Burgess Owens intercepts in the flat, takes it 58 yards for a touchdown.
And look at Matt Robinson, couldn't be feeling any worse. He hasn't played much in the last 5 or 6 games. Only one series of plays. Now he comes in, he gets a chance to kind of get off the schneid himself because he'd like to make something good happen. He knows he had great expectations when he came out here. Hasn't really been used. And it's got to be heartbreaking. On the other side of the coin, this man's all smiles.
He really is, and that was the 32nd team interception by the Raiders this season. They're number 1 in the NFL. Washington second with 28 and Dallas third with 27. Burgess Owens, his 3rd interception of the year, and it was a big one. Now, San Diego Chargers are watching with great interest, hoping Denver can come up with a win here today.
And, Don, we have not mentioned a 26-point differential could be a factor if this game gets out of control. We'll get to it a little later.
Now the kickoff in the mile-high atmosphere of Denver, Colorado by Bard. Drives Brunson deep in the end zone. He doesn't bring it out. Comes out to the 20 on a touchback. 1st and 10. You have to admire Bud Grant and his Vikings. They were seemingly out of it early in the season, and then when the Cleveland Browns appeared to have them put away today, they rally back. Tommy Kramer, 3 touchdown throws in the 4th quarter.
I mean, how many times has Tommy Kramer done it to people? I saw him do it to San Francisco 3 or 4 times. Every time they're ready to make a replacement for him, he comes off with a great ball game. It's only a guy that has great confidence in his own ability that can do a thing like that, and my hat's off to him.
Here's a throw, and the strike is made. A perfect connection. We'd like to welcome all of you now who've been watching the Vikings and the Cleveland Browns. This is Don Criqui with John Brody at Mile High Stadium in Denver, where the Oakland Raiders, with their offense not yet on the field, lead the game 7-0. The Broncos try to fake field goal. The pass by Matt Robinson was intercepted and subsequently returned 58 yards for a Raider touchdown by Burgess Owens. It's 7-0 game. Now the Broncos with their second possession. They have the ball just short of their 40. It's a great day in Denver. Temperature in the 70s. Unseasonably warm for December. Clear sunny skies. Mile High sold out for the 80th consecutive home game of the Broncos. Now the Raiders shut down the run as Rob Lytle tries to go wide.
And I'll tell you, it's a rare time indeed when they stuff their middle linebacker, Matt Millen, and still get the sort of pursuit that they did outside. You can tell a team that respects a linebacker by how many people hit him. First Odom, then Jensen. They're going to make sure he doesn't get in on the play. He's been their big playmaker against the run over this whole year, and it's rare when a rookie even plays at middle linebacker, and he's played it very well.
He's getting some attention. Big Matt Millen, who came to camp at 271. They brought him down to about 255. Starting as a rookie. So now it's going to be 2nd down and about 14. Loss on the play. Handoff goes to Lytle. On a slant play, he comes across the 35-yard line, gets to about the 38. The offensive alignment for the Denver Broncos. Craig Morton, the 16-year veterans at quarterback. Preston and Jensen runner. Pass catches for the Broncos. Up Church and Moses, the wide receivers. Riley Odoms at tight end. Interior blockers, Studdard, Glassick, Bryant, Howard, and Minor. It's 3rd down and 11 now for Denver. We're in the 1st quarter. 7:40 to play in it, and the clock is running, and the Oakland Raiders lead the game 7-0. Morton stands in, lofts one downfield. There's the veteran Haven Moses out of bounds at Drew.
Tried to catch him in between the seam, Don. Just took a little too much off the ball. Had to get it over the first man's head. That's the first mistake the Denver offense has made. The Denver defense hasn't been on the field. It's 7-0.
It's our first punt of the game now. Ira Matthews back deep for the Raiders. Some big scores in today. They're all big coming down the stretch with a lot of teams vying for the playoffs. Houston beating Green Bay 22-3. Pittsburgh scoring twice in the 4th quarter to stay alive, beating Kansas City 21-16. Luke Prestridge, who hits it a long way. He's the 2nd punter in the AFC. Drills a line drive way downfield. Ira Matthews at his 6. Here he comes. 15 to the 20, and Matthews turns the corner, gets across the 30, and is run out of bounds at the 31-yard line. So the Raiders send their offense on the field for the first time as they're in the lead. 7-0. The punt 55 yards, but Matthews brought it back 25. We'll be back at Mile High Stadium after this. Back at Mile High Stadium in Denver, Colorado, Don Criqui with John Brody. The Oakland Raiders offense just coming out on the field. They've not yet had the ball for a play from scrimmage, and they lead the game 7-0 on Burgess Owens' 58-yard return of an intercepted pass. So we got something good going here right now as the Raiders looking to keep pace with San Diego. Monken at quarterback. And handoff goes to Arthur Whittington right up the middle. He takes the ball to the 35-yard line. The Oakland offensive lineup, Jim Plunkett at quarterback. Arthur Whittington starting backfield and replacing Kenny King. Mark Van Egan is the fullback. The wide receivers for the Raiders, Cliff Branch will be on one flank, Bob Chandler on another. Raymond Chester's the tight end. And those great big Oakland blockers who do such a great job, Shell, Upshaw, Dalby, Marvin, and Lawrence. Now, Plunkett with time throws in the flat, and it almost went the other way with Broncos picking it off. Here's a throw, though, to Arthur Whittington on a 2nd down and 6 play that gets ahead across the 50 and down to the 47-yard line, an 18-yard gain.
Don, how he even picked him up was amazing to me because he was looking straight down the field. He had to know Whittington was standing out on the sideline, and then to be able to tell he had enough room to get the ball.
The 30, and is run out of bounds at the 31-yard line. So the Raiders send their offense on the field for the first time as they're in the lead, 7-0. The punt